Just like that. It's week 1. Football is less than 24 hours away. At this time in 24 hours, the football sweats. I'm getting clammy just thinking about it. I'm so pumped, man. I'm so excited. Got Robbie here. Got the godfather of TFA, Kev, rocking with us. If you're with us live, if you have any questions, start dropping them in the chat. Don't let Walito get all of the questions in, as he is just in here, just full on blasting it already. Yes, Flores, football is back. I don't even know. I don't even know what else to say. I think I could just say football's back for the next hour, and I think it would be a fantastic show.
Yeah, in about 24 hours, people are going to be super pissed that they took Zeke with their first overall pick. About this time, they're going to be like, why did I spend a first-round pick on Zeke Elliott? I feel like that's going to be the vibe here in 24 hours.
Are you just preparing yourself as a Cowboys fan? Okay.
Yep, hedging.
So
hedging.
Reverse,
you of all people
jinx.
know. You of all people know, just hedge.
That sounds like the reverse jinx to me. That doesn't sound like a hedge. That sounds like the reverse jinx.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Kev, what up?
I feel like getting naked. Okay, it's a little weird, but it's back. It's back. I'm so happy. No more talking about sleepers and breakouts and busts. It's all about in season. So, we've been the grind. I will say this really quickly. I appreciate all the support we've gotten because it has been a excellent draft season for us. We put in the work. We spent a lot of time putting out content, a lot of 2 a.m. nights, but it was worth it.
The fruits of our labor, they're starting to bud. The tree is starting to bud. All right, let's jump into this. Walito kicking us off here, right, making us work. Let's just start with he needs 2 running backs, 2 receivers, and a flex. So let's start with the running backs first. Kamara, Eckler, Mixon, Gaskin, Davis, Sermon.
First 2.
Yeah, we do have – I think we just started off at the top that Eckler missed practice with a hamstring injury. We don't know how serious it is. It's only Wednesday, but missing a Wednesday practice isn't always the greatest unless it's just, that maintenance day that they have off. But it doesn't sound like that. So that is something to note. But I'd probably go Kamara and Mixon anyways. I do like Mixon. And so I'd probably go Kamara and Mixon even if we're not even worried about Eckler at all for running backs.
I'm going to go Kamara Eckler as long as Eckler is okay. Now let's go to the 2 wide receivers. Amari, you got to split up these Cooper Cups, Walito, next time. You can't – this is throwing me all off. Amari Cooper, Cooper Cup, Deontay, Pittman, Cooks. Walito, just so you know, we are never going to say Brandon Cooks, so you can stop it.
Yeah, I think he's sticking with his first 2 there with the Coopers.
Okay, agree, Kev?
Yeah. So then I think it comes down for the flex, really. I mean, in my opinion, it comes down to either Mixon or Deontay. I would think that would be the choice. Right?
It is Mixon for me.
Yep.
Yeah. Agreed.
Boom. Beats Maki. Half PPR, Marquis Brown or Henry Ruggs.
Marquis Brown.
Yeah, I think as long as he's healthy.
Yeah, I mean
you can't trust Henry Ruggs in this matchup the first week.
I hopefully he doesn't have to trust either of these guys in the first week. I feel like hopefully these aren't the only options. But yeah, if it's between these two, Marquis probably. I mean, do you guys have any confidence in the Ravens pass catchers outside of Andrews? Because I personally don't. We've heard the Sammy Watkins week 1 narrative, right? He goes off, but I don't know if I'm trusting Marquis Brown out the gate coming off of his injury riddled training camp. Sammy Watkins, I don't know if I have that trust either. Are you guys looking to start those guys, or is this just a hey, if we had to start, that's the one you're picking?
I think Marquis Brown I have him as a top 36 wide receiver, I believe. So I like Marquis Brown in this matchup against the Raiders. So I mean, I'm perfectly fine with it. They're going to be limited with the other guys they have. Yes, they have Watkins, but I still think Marquis Brown. I think he's going to lead the team in targets. So
yeah, Cody, you and I are much lower with Marquis down in the 50s. So I guess. Are you kind of on the same mindset that you're not starting him unless you absolutely have to?
Yeah, not unless I have to. I just think if Sammy's going to be healthy, Mark Andrews is healthy, we know it's going to be a low passing volume offense. I wouldn't be surprised. For Marquis Brown, same for Henry Ruggs too. We just haven't really seen it yet outside of the Jets game where the Jets decided to send the house on that game-ending play. But for Marquis Brown, all it takes is 2 catches and he can make your week. And I think it's at this point it is I feel way better trusting Marquis Brown. We know that they have the connection. We know Lamar Jackson has been. Is he ever going to be a great passer? No, but I think he's kind of getting dragged more than he should. I think he's fine. He's competent for fantasy football purposes with his rushing ability. He only has to be competent. So I'd fire up Marquis Brown, and I would feel okay about it if these are your only 2 choices. So I'm completely fine with that, Marquis. We got Abraham Pena rocking with us in the chat again. Good. It's good to see some of these faces coming back and getting back into the chat. So wants to know what we think about his team for this week. Rocking Kyler at QB. Obviously, Kevin and I love that. I don't know where you're sitting with Kyler this week, Robbie, but on the quarterback ranking show, Kevin and I both had Kyler high. Kev is also an Aaron Jones guy. I'm a CEH guy. AJ Brown, DJ Moore, Najee the flex, Logan Thomas, Bucks D. Hey,
killed it. Absolutely love this team. Absolutely love it. And I love AJ Brown this week. I know, Cody, I think you have him at 1, and I think right. Don't you have him ranked first overall? 2. Okay. So I think that he has one of the best. He has one of the best matchups on the entire slate of games this weekend, and I think I have both him and Julio Jones as top 12 wide receiver options this week. So I love this game.
Yeah, high over under game. So he's a good option for sure. That's just a great roster, honestly. Well done for week 1 and for the season.
Yeah. Vinegar strokes. Which 2 running backs should I start in the PPR? Mike Davis, Damian Harris, Javonte, Michael Carter, and Rojo. Well, Mike Davis for sure.
Gets really close after that. Really close.
I think I'm going to lean Rojo. Mm-hmm. I think he's obviously the Tampa Bay is going to be leading. It seems like Rojo, if we were to read the tea leaves, if we were to read the tea leaves of their final preseason game, I think Rojo basically played the majority of the snaps with Tom Brady. Then he kind of went out. Leonard Fournette kept playing after that. So if we are reading into that as who has the upper hand in the starts, I would lean Rojo. Javonte, I can't start week 1. I want to see how that ends up working out with their split, the touch split there. Michael Carter, as much as I would love to slam him into my week 1 lineup, I just can't do it with the triple-headed headache that is the Jets backfield. So I'm going to go Davis and Jones, but Damian Harris would be right behind Rojo.
Yeah, that's what it really comes down to. Kevin and I have Damian Harris and Ronald Jones neck and neck in our rankings, and I could go either way. I think I'll just take the easier matchup, and we should expect the Bucs to get up on the Cowboys. We should expect them to be running. You're going to see maybe a little bit less Geo. A lot of people have been worried about Geo coming in on those third downs, maybe the passing down situations. So I think you can feel a little bit more confident about Rojo in this type of matchup. It's kind of built for him in this first week against the Cowboys. So I will go Ronald Jones.
Cav, Rojo or Harris?
I would go Harris. It's just I don't give a shit what happens or what Bruce Arians says. I don't trust that man as far as I can throw him. Again, I would like to see how that situation kind of plays out. I feel really confident that Damian Harris is locked in. In terms of I've been thinking over the last couple of days, the season coming closer. Like, just real quickly, it has with Mike Davis. I don't think people should feel as comfortable with him anymore that they did probably a week ago or 2 weeks ago, like prior to the Wayne Gallman signing. Like, because before the Wayne Gallman signing, you felt great because there was nobody else there, right? But now with Wayne Gallman there, like I don't know, like I would feel like for me this week, if Mike Davis has a really good week, I would probably look to trade him because Wayne Gallman is and very well could take over this backfield. Like Wayne Gallman and Mike Davis, if you're talking about them just as players, they're pretty much pretty similar, right? And you can argue that Wayne Gallman's had more success at an earlier rate, where like before the whole appeal to Mike Davis was there is nobody else there. But Mike Davis Wayne Gallman last year, if you look at his numbers, he was actually really good last year compared to I think you talk about the situation that he was in, that backfield, how bad it was. He kind of produced. So I don't know. Like I don't feel as confident anymore with Mike Davis. I think just for this 1 week in the matchup and everything else, I'm okay with it. But like moving forward, like I don't feel as comfortable with Mike Davis as I once did. But just because of I think Wayne Gallman is going to hurt Mike Davis more than that we want to give it credit. Because before, like I said, the entire part of it was there was nobody else there. We had nothing to worry about with Mike Davis. He was going to get all the touches. I don't think that's the case anymore.
Cody, you want it?
I mean, are we really worried about Wayne Gallman?
We're still talking about but we're still talking about Mike Davis, and I think that's the problem. It's like we're not talking. So like I'm not like trashing Mike Davis, like Mike Davis is just trash.
You did earlier this summer.
Well, okay, but he's still just a guy. He's not like.
That was Wayne Gallman.
Again, I know, but that's the problem. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think like there's two discerning things, but like I said, in a bad situation last year, one of the worst offensive lines in the league, a terrible offense, he produced. And I mean, he was very efficient as well. So I don't know. I'm just saying. Let me say this. I think people should be adding Wayne Gallman for sure to your benches, and I don't feel nearly as confident with Mike Davis as I did before.
Yeah, I think we're selling Mike Davis short a little bit. I get he's been a journeyman, but he did lead the league in broken tackles per play last year for the Panthers. He's extremely elusive. He's good out of the backfield. This guy could have, we talked about this all the way going back to our mock drafts. He could have potentially 75, 80 targets. That's not something that Wayne Gallman specializes at. Wayne Gallman was good last year because he scored 6 touchdowns in like 8 games. That's why he was relevant. He wasn't anything special outside of that. I think he's a tick up from like an Alfred Morris. So he just got cut from the 49ers. I get it. 49ers have decent depth at running back, but they probably still could have hung on to him until Jeff Wilson came back, but they chose to keep JaMychal Hasty and Elijah Mitchell over him. I am not worried about Wayne Gallman. He's going to be probably the running back too, but this is more of they didn't have anybody else. I agree with your point, but that's not a thing against Mike Davis. It's a thing against Quadri Allison, whoever the heck else is there, ? Like they needed to bring somebody in because you're right. They have nobody, but I don't think it's an indictment on Mike Davis. I do think he's the better running back. I'm not overly worried about Wayne Gallman coming in.
And if Atlanta wanted Wayne Gallman, they could have gotten Wayne Gallman earlier, and they got Mike Davis. If this were like 2 months ago, a month and a half ago, I would be more worried, but he got cut from San Fran, picked up, and I think we've spent way too much time talking about Wayne Gallman and Mike Davis. JJ, yes, we do have football tomorrow. The Echo situation, we're not going to speculate on anything just yet. It's only Wednesday. He was out there working on the side. I think if you want to paint a rosy picture, the fact he was out there and just not completely inactive, I think is okay. And then, Eckler did tweet out that he was ready for week 1 and excited to get on the field. So we'll have to monitor this and wait and see. But as long as he doesn't go backwards, like if he's inactive tomorrow or if he gets in a limited practice and then inactive or something like that, as long as he keeps trending in the right direction, I think it's fine. And I think they kind of have to treat Eckler softly, because you want to talk about a team that has nothing behind their RB1. Look no further than the Chargers. After that, you want to talk about Jag City. Look no further. Beats half PPR, Moss, Watkins, Galladay for a flex. Give me Watkins. I don't give a shit. Give me Watkins.
You gotta go Galladay. Okay.
Yeah, I think you do.
Let's
I don't think so.
I am very nervous about Galladay, but at a certain point, I'm not pushing my chips in on Sammy Watkins on a team that's going to throw 26 times in week 1.
It's not so much pushing my chips on Watkins, but we have literally not heard one good thing about Galladay. He's been banged up. Daniel Jones. The matchup is awful. The matchup is dreadful for Galladay. No matter what side he plays, no matter what kind of routes he's running, that is one of the better secondaries in all of football. Right. Moss, you can't trust in that matchup either. So if we're going to be talking matchups and who has the better one, give me Watkins.
Yeah, he does have the better matchup. I'll agree there. I just the talent disparity. Oh, look at it! Stay true to the brand.
Goddamn right. So 2 Galladays to 1 Watkins. Josh, what is going on? Appreciate you joining us. Walito coming through with that $5 super chat. Just want to say Kev currently has Daniel Jones at QB 27. He had him a sleeper. You can always count on Walito just to dig this up and throw it back in our faces.
Little knife there.
That was like in February. Like good one, Walito. Good one.
So we got a trade from JJ, sent Monty, Julio, and Mostert for A-Rob and Woods in a full PPR. Looks like Eckler and James Robinson for his other running backs. So Eckler, James Robinson, Allen Robinson, Bobby Trees.
Yes, I mean, you're worried about running back depth if you're trading away 2 guys there, but it looks like he has 2 good starters. Hopefully he has a couple other guys that he's comfortable with because of injury, because of bye weeks, etc. But, just from what we know here, I do like this trade with Allen Robinson having that top 5 wide receiver potential. We are all Bobby Woods stands here. I think he's going to be very good with Matthew Stafford. I like this trade.
Yeah, I like it as well. Pick 3 in a PPR for Yael, Jamar Chase, Michael Pittman, Elijah Moore, Marquez Callaway, Brian Edwards, Henry Ruggs, Javonte Williams. So we're locking in Pittman. Yep. Who are the other 2 we're going with here? I'm as much as I love Chase and had him as highly ranked as I did before ADP caught up, I can't play him week 1.
I think we're too scared. I think we're too scared on Chase. Like, don't you guys think that this team, with how bad their defense is and with how much they threw last year with Burrow, that they'll throw so much that Chase will get, whether he has drops or whatever might happen, he could see 10 targets in this game. On top of, I have Boyd above him, I have Higgins above him. I don't think it matters. They're going to throw so much this year. I honestly think they're the 2020 Cowboys pre-Dak injury. This team with just a horrendous defense, 3 really great wide receivers, a solid running back. I think this offense just churns, and the defense just churns over points to get the offense back on the field. I think the Jamar Chase worry has gone a bit far for me. I think you just got to trust that talent there.
For me, it's not about the talent. It's just about seeing how the targets are going to be divvied up week 1. It's not a great matchup. It's like you want to talk about the secondary. They've added pieces. I'm worried about that D-line versus their O-line, to be quite honest. So like that's why I'm a little hesitant on Chase week 1. The rest of the year, he's going to be fine. I think I can already foresee myself talking about Chase as a buy low in both dynasty and redraft, a couple weeks into the season. But we're locking in Pittman. Who else are we going with here? I can't start Callaway. Not doing it in this with this matchup they have. He's the only thing that they have going on the outside. I can't do it with Callaway. Where else are we going after this for YF low?
Yeah, I'll go Pittman and Chase for sure for me, and then it gets a little closer. You could talk me into maybe a little bit of Bryan Edwards, but I'll probably go Javonte Williams. I know you'd said earlier you probably don't want to trust him right out the gates. I think the Broncos showed us how comfortable they are with him by sitting him in that third preseason game. They've seen all that they want to see. I think he splits pretty evenly out the gates with Melvin Gordon, and so you're talking about going against the Giants, who do have an okay run defense, but I think this is a team that is going to run early and often. He should see 10 to 15 touches and have a decent shot at a touchdown. I'd probably go out of these names, given the matchups with Elijah Moore, with Callaway, with Bryan Edwards, and Ruggs, just given the names with their matchups, and I'd probably lean the running back there.
Kev, what you got?
Pittman, Elijah Moore, and Marquez Callaway.
So you're not worried at all with, well, I shouldn't say at all, but you're comfortable with Callaway kind of rolling him out week one? Because I think that's a big discussion piece.
You have to look at one, you have to take into context who he has.
Yep.
And so he's going to be the number one wide receiver. And listen, it's kind of the same thing I've said. Like, Jair Alexander's not going to shadow, which he doesn't shadow anyways. I mean, he didn't shadow a single wide receiver past week 7 last year. And so they play sides. And so, I mean, Sean Payton's smart enough to move him around. And so I think some of the matchup stuff that we're hearing is a little overblown because of that. Right now, I get it. That Jair Alexander is one of the best corners, if not the best corner. He's right there with Jalen Ramsey as the best corner in the league, but he's not going to shadow. There's no worry. And it's the same argument too, like with like Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey doesn't shadow either. Like, they're going to play their sides, and so to me, that's why I'm just not as concerned with Marquez Callaway. Like if I have other options, I'm probably going to play them. But like in this situation, you have to play Marquez Callaway because Bryan Edwards and Henry Ruggs are completely those guys are definitely I love that. I love Bryan Edwards long term. There's no way I'm trusting John Gruden in anything that he says or all this other shit that that he tries to pull over us, right? And so I like Jamar Chase too, but I am just as little hesitant about everything else with it. I think if you wanted to go Jamar Chase, I think you can. But Elijah Moore, especially if Jameson Crowder is out, he's probably going to be locked in as a starting slot wide receiver in a game that I think that has some shootout potential. I know the Jets, implied point total isn't great, but I do think this game has some shootout potential because both defenses are really bad. And so I do think that Elijah Moore, especially if Jameson Crowder out, I think he's definitely in play.
Real quick, Cody, I do want to hit on the Panthers defense because this is a game that I've kind of been diving into a little bit, and I think we're thinking this game is going to be closer than it should be. The Panthers defense wasn't actually all that bad last year. They were kind of middle of the road defense, and they actually brought in a lot of talent. Opposite of Brian Burns, they brought in Hassan Reddick from the Cardinals, who had 12.5 sacks last year. So they do have 2 really good edge rushers in Brian Burns and Hassan Reddick, to go along with Derek Brown, their 2020 first-round pick in his second season. And then if you talk about their corners, they go first overall pick, or not their first overall pick. They take J.C. Horn to pair up with A.J. Boye that they get in free agency. They've done a lot to kind of turn over this defense. I actually think this is a top 10 defense this week because the Jets' offense is nothing to be scared about. And I think they were a middle-of-the-road defense last year that's only gotten better. So that's where I think the low implied point total is because I don't think the Jets score a whole lot of points in this game, and that's why I'm a little nervous about Elijah Moore. We're talking about a rookie, missed some time in training camp. I can't trust him coming out here week 1 in this matchup.
I would just say I think you're way too low on the Jets offense. I think the Jets offense is going to be better than what you're giving them credit for.
I mean, we're talking about Tevin Coleman, Ty Johnson, Michael Carter at running back, who actually 4th string, right? Michael P.
What are
Ryan.
we talking about? I don't care about
Corey Davis.
Zach,
Elijah Moore, a rookie with a rookie quarterback. This is going to be a bottom 5 offense, most likely. I'd struggle to find 4 offenses that are projected on paper to be worse.
We'll see. I think Elijah Moore is going to be an absolute star, and I think that he, if everything that we've heard about him over the offseason through training camp, through everything else, like I think he can step right in week 1 and produce. Like I'm not, so I think a lot of it hinges on that. But I think Corey Davis is. I think he's a decent, a solid wide receiver. He's not a wide receiver 1. I think he's a decent wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3, and so I think Zach Wilson can take can. I mean, I think that he's going to play better than I think what people expect of him.
Oh, I love Zach Wilson. You know me, I'm a Zach Wilson guy for sure. But the weapons there are kind of what worries me.
Let's move on. Josh T has Higbee, has an offer to get Andrews, would send away Locket to get Andrews and get that upgrade at the tight end, would still leave him with A.J. Brown, Bobby Trees, Deontay, and Callaway. So has the depth to do it. Would you make that trade?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Yeah. You can make that.
Yeah.
There's 2 tiers between Andrews and Higbee for me personally. JJ coming through with that $4.99 super chat. We appreciate it from all you guys. Anthony Miller, my God, if
never let it die. Is that Dwight Peebles? Is that actually Dwight Peebles?
The burner? Yes. Man, I just want to see him healthy for 1 year and get more opportunity. It's such a shame that he's been as banged up and left on the side of the curb as he has been. Got Ashton rocking with us, coming at you like a spider monkey chip. PPR flex, Edwards or Henderson?
Gus.
I feel like you forget in the offseason how close some of these questions that we get are. You're like, oh, it's going to be easy. I've got my rankings right here. And then they ask you questions, and it's guy number 23 versus guy number 24. Very close for me. I'll say Gus Edwards, but they're neck and neck, so I can go either way.
Yeah, I like Gus there by a hair as well. Ashton has a question: Shenault or Juju? For me, I'm going to go Juju here. I like the matchup better with him in the slot. He's out in Pittsburgh begging to get reps on the outside, and they basically said, no, you're going to go ahead and stay. You're going to stay in the slot there. And I really like Shenault. I want to see how the first couple weeks go with their usage. You have DJ Chark coming back healthy. Marvin Jones is apparently, the apple of Trevor Lawrence's eye.
Yep.
The matchup in general for Shenault, I think, is just across the board better. But I think Juju in the slot, that's how you attack the Buffalo defense. So I'm going to lean Juju on that one.
Yeah, both these guys are probably on that borderline wide receiver 36 range for me. I'm glad you mentioned Marvin Jones. He was a guy that I kind of like a little bit more than probably most people in week 1. He's just a guy when he plays, he plays well, honestly. And I know he has his injury concerns, but I think we kind of viewed him as the wide receiver 3, way behind Chark at the beginning, and then Shenault, and now Chark's fallen off, and so it's now Shenault. But I think Marvin Jones has a good chance to maybe lead this team early in the year, maybe not the whole year, but they can mix up Shenault and get him worked in different ways, especially with ETN out. Maybe they mix him up a little bit. So there is that potential, but I'll probably lean Juju here in week 1. Very close.
Kev.
It's going to be Juju.
J. Mike, the one, yes, you did hear Sammy Watkins. I can always count on J. Mike to come through. Appreciate you joining us, man. If you are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. We really do appreciate it. Ashton has another question here. Landry, Gage, AB, or Edwards for the second flex spot?
That's going to be Raiders Edwards, I would assume, if he's listed him last. Not Gus Edwards. So I will go AB.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me that upside.
If it is Gus, which one would you go then?
I'm probably rolling with Gus in in that situation. I mean, it's not far fetched to see AB.
It's Brian Edwards, so we don't have to worry. He just answered it. Yeah, we don't talk about it. Okay, yeah, it's definitely AB.
J Mike coming through the question: playing all the Cowboys out the gate, or are we a little nervous against this Bucs defense? I think you gotta roll them. I think you gotta roll them out.
I think obviously Amari and CD you're starting no matter what. But past that, and Zeke, I should say. I don't think you have to play Dak. It would just really depend on the option of who that guy is. But because I don't think Dak is like a slam dunk. Like, okay, yeah, you're definitely starting him, right?
Are you picking up anybody off of waivers to play over Dak though?
I don't think there's the matchups this week. Like, I'm starting Russell Wilson over Dak in a league.
Oh, that's easy question.
Don't ask me why I have them both. It was an auction mistake. We all make mistakes, but other than that, I just don't think there's the Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, Sam Darnold like slam dunk play that you would risk over the upside with a Dak.
Here's what I would say. It's week 1. I don't think you have to. If this was like week 14, I think like you're trying to struggle in the end of the playoffs, I think the competition would be different. But I definitely think you could play like Sam Darnold over Dak. Like because
that's
we need to move on before we lose subscribers.
that's rich, Kev.
No, that's the problem though, and this is the same argument we always get into, and it's that you don't have to play guys. Like people say, "Oh, you have to." No, you don't. Like this is
between those two.
It's not close.
And this is a great man. We just talked about it, right? You just talked about how bad the Jets team is, right? Sam Darnold could easily go. This is it's matchup based. Like that's what I care about. Like I care about this 1 week. I don't care about you drafted Dak Prescott in the 5th round. It doesn't matter anymore. Like I'm talking about just for this 1 week. Am I saying you should do it? No, but if you wanted to do it, if people decide to start it, something like Sam Darnold or Kirk Cousins, who definitely could be sitting out there, there's definitely options that are probably sitting out there that I think you could play. Like you don't just jam Dak, which we all agree has a terrible matchup, and the only people who even feel comfortable playing in the offense is Amari and CeeDee Lamb. And I wouldn't say I feel great about them. I think you just have to play them. Because I think of what their ceiling is. But I don't think it is this is a terrible matchup for the Cowboys. This is one of the best defenses. It's on the road. It's the opening night. This is the first time that most of these fans will be in the stadium to see Tom Brady. That place is going to be insane. And so to say that Dak can't just go out and this offense shits the bed week 1 is definitely a real possibility. So I think it should be like that's why I don't love Dak. Like if there was somebody there and somebody like an actual great option, I think you definitely could. Is what I'm saying.
Yep. Next.
Nick coming in with that Cam heavy, pour one out. RBs are Cook and Gus Edwards. Should I trade Cook for Chubb and James Robinson?
Man, that's not a bad return. If you're talking about if we didn't have ETN in the mix, Kev, you made this point a while ago. If ETN had never been drafted, where would James Robinson have probably gone in drafts? You got to assume 3rd round at the worst. So hypothetically, you're looking at a early 2nd round pick in Nick Chubb and a 3rd round pick in James Robinson. Now I get Dalvin Cook was probably the 102, 103 in most leagues. 10-team PPR. Gosh, I'm wavering here back and forth. The 10-team PPR makes me want to stay with Dalvin. Just obviously Nick Chubb isn't quite as valuable in a PPR league, and it's 10 teams. You're probably okay there. I might talk in a full circle and go back to Dalvin.
Kev.
I mean, I don't think it's a bad trade. I mean, I think you're getting enough value there to be able to make it work. And I think your team becomes stronger because of it. So, I mean, I think you can make that trade.
Yeah, I would make it. Robbie, you were talking about with ETM being out of the picture. That makes that much more clearer for me. And I think if going from Cook to Chubb, even though in a full PPR Chubb doesn't carry as much value, I don't think that they'll be that far off. And if you're shoring up another RB spot, I think that that could make some sense, especially if your wide receiver group, assuming that you went Dalvin and then just slam wide receiver. I think you can make up for that difference. Jack D rocking with us. Visca or Monty, half PPR.
I'll go Monty there.
Yeah. Never mind. Yep.
Ashton agreeing with you. Kel's 22. My flex. Do I start Pittman, Gordon, AB?
Super close between Pittman and Antonio Brown. I would probably lean towards Pittman, though.
Yeah. The Seahawks lost Shaquille Griffin. Their cornerbacks I don't know who they are. Like they are not – they're not good. And Pittman should be that wide receiver one. I like him here in week 1.
Yeah, Pittman for me as well. Just a little clearer. If Godwin were out, I would go AB. But the fact that he has been off the injury report,
yep.
I'm gonna go Pittman there. Jack D coming through with that $4.99 super chat. Really appreciate that. You guys are crushing it today. Thank you guys so much. Thoughts on Nico Collins? Not a big fan of Houston's offense. Watching him in college preseason, he commands targets. Well, they need somebody to make plays there. Brandon Cooks is going to be healthy for 5 games, Walito, and then he is going to be out. So I think I am not a huge fan of these guys that are size, speed specimens, but don't separate like that. Like that always just gets in my craw. But this is a team that's going to have to throw a bunch. And outside of Cooks, it's David Johnson in the slot. Maybe little Brevin Jordan getting some play time. So I think as a one of your last round kind of guys, I like stashing him. And Dynasty, he's cheap as well. So
yeah, I actually mentioned him as a deep Dynasty sleeper for Dynasty leagues. So you can find him either at the end of people's rosters, you can get him for cheap, or on waiver wires. But for redraft, I just don't think this team is going to have the volume to do it. I know what you're saying, Cody, that they're going to have to pass a lot. But Nico Collins he can be really good, but he's also extremely raw. Like we're talking about a guy that doesn't have a full route tree yet. So this is a guy that maybe gets you, 30 receptions on the entire year, but he has 4 or 5 touchdowns because he's just a good red zone guy, jump ball guy, right? So I don't think he's probably worth drafting in redraft, but a guy maybe in the future that you can rely on once Houston takes their first overall pick here and gets a quarterback in.
Another super chat here from Juggernaut. Kev, Clyde or A-Rob as a flex option? Good for you. Good for you. Who you got here?
I'll go CEH.
Cody?
Clyde.
Yeah. I'll go CEH.
I just don't love this matchup week 1 for
and that's what it
Chicago.
Is. Yep.
We also have to watch because last I saw, Myles Garrett was listed as questionable for this game. So, if he doesn't play, that's a big blow to that defense.
Yeah.
Very.
Let's see. So there's a follow-up from the Pittman Gordon AB. It's not really up to him. If the coaches like Javonte, like there's no way that Gordon's going to come out here and get an 80-20 split week 1. He is going to be splitting touches with Javonte, and the Giants, as much as we like to shit on their offense, their defense is pretty solid. They have a good run defense. They have Bradbury, picked a Dory. That's where Dory went as well, right? On the other side, didn't he sign with the Giants? Dory Jackson. Maybe I'm making that up.
Maybe.
Well,
anyway,
he's there. Yeah, Jabril Peppers, Adoree Jackson, Logan Ryan. So that's the defense is better than the offense, as much as we like shitting, or as much as I'll speak for myself. That's why with Gordon splitting touches and not a great matchup week 1. And we got AC rocking with us, the Tomb King himself, Henderson or Melvin against you, Kev.
Kev, you got to answer this one.
You got Darrell Henderson. Darrell Henderson.
Yeah, it's Hendy here.
And by the way, Melvin Gordon's probably not going to get another contract. And if he does, it's not going to be starting anywhere. So,
yeah, he can want that contract and that role all he wants. He's going to have to go out and murder Javonte Williams in order to.
He's gone after this year anyway. But yeah.
Brian coming through. I love seeing all these familiar faces. Pick 3 wide receivers: Julio, Godwin, OBJ, Jarvis, Mooney, Pittman. Full PPR.
First 3. Julio, Godwin, OBJ.
Yeah.
OBJ is simple. Like, I know, like we had, like he's like someone that like I don't remember us, if we have, it's been like in passing of talking about OBJ this year. But I mean, this is a fantastic matchup. They're going to have to throw the ball. Obviously to keep up with the Chiefs. And so he's going to get probably, I mean, he had I think in the 9 games he played last year, had a 24% target share. He was wide receiver 19 at that point whenever he got hurt. So all accounts sounds like he's good to go. And so this is a matchup they're going to have to throw the ball a ton. And so, yeah, I mean, you're firing up OBJ with pretty good confidence this week.
Still in limited practice, but yeah, I'm going to play.
Davis or Sutton, full PPR.
Yeah,
I'll go Corey Davis.
Ooh. I think I'll take Sutton.
Yeah, it's Corey Davis.
Fant or Gronk here for Gray?
Fant.
Yep.
Yeah, too hard to trust Gronk. Start 2 of these in a PPR for Andrew. Chenault, Galladay, Swift, Gaskin.
Swift and Gaskin.
Yep.
Not worried about the matchup with New England, Kev, for Gaskin?
No, I think he's going to be involved. I think he's going to be their pass catching back one, and so that's. But it sounds like it sounds like there's been much more faith that he's probably going to be the guy again this year, and that some of the committee conversation stuff that we heard earlier, it was a little bit overblown, and it sounds like he's very well going to be locked in as the full-time guy, just like he was last year. I think Michael Brown will mix in and he'll get some opportunities for sure. But I think Myles Gaskin is probably going to, get the majority of the touches out of this backfield. And so to the people that drafted him, because his ADP fell. I think he ended up going in the 6th round, somewhere like that. And so I think he could end up being one of the guys that ends up being a steal compared to where you got him from.
I'm not sure what the question here is, Walito. Should do you want me to watch my mouth? I'm Ron Burgundy? Question mark.
Can't give him $5. You'll keep talking about it.
Hey, I will shit on Brandon Cooks for an entire 2-hour stream here if I have to. I'm not too proud. Juggernaut coming through with another super chat. Broke the bank for Adams and Zeke, just to call my team Adam and Zeke. Thoughts? I don't get the reference. Is there a reference?
Adam and Eve, maybe, is that play on words? Adam and Eve, Adam and Zeke, I think.
Such a pure boy you are, Robbie. Going right to the biblical reference. I was thinking read
the book of Genesis,
Morty
boys.
Kind of
Read the book of Genesis.
Hey.
Yeah, I like it.
Hey, you paid the money. You do what you got to do there.
And you will probably crush because that is a fantastic combo.
Yeah, that is worthy of breaking banks for. Ryan has a question here. Chark, Judy, Hunt, pick 2.
I think it's going to be Judy and Hunt.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure I'm higher on DJ Chark than everybody is. I have him just outside of a top 36 wide receiver, but I think that game script and within mind, I think you have to look at Hunt, that he's probably going to get a lot of pass catching work in this game. And so I think you have to play him.
This is the point that we're at. Half PPR, Edmonds or Barkley.
This is Barkley. We are not that far down. I'll probably be one of the lower ones on Barkley in week 1, and I will still start Barkley over Edmonds. Because what you're getting with Edmonds is a split workload, and let's say Barkley is going to play and they do put him on a snap count and he is splitting time, he's now just what Edmonds is going to get for workload at just twice the talent. So I will take Barkley between these two.
I do love Chase Edmonds, I think, this week, but it is 1,000% Saquon Barkley.
Jonnu or Goddard in a full PPR for Noel. Good. So good at seeing these names back.
Goddard.
You know, I was watching your guys' QB and tight end show, which was very good. I'm curious if but I feel like we might be underselling Zach Ertz still on Philadelphia just a little bit with Goddard, like just a little bit.
It's not that I think Zach Ertz is dead. It's just that who the hell else does Philly really have? Outside of Devonta Smith. I know we still want Jalen Reagor to be a thing, but even still, at most, there's so that like who's past that? You have the running backs.
Jonnu's going to be splitting time too. So if you want to talk about Goddard and Ertz, you have to talk about Smith and Hunter Henry.
Yeah, no, that is a good point. And I guess just the overall, like, it's a little bit closer for me. I do have Goddard over Jonnu in this situation. So I do like that, but I think I'm a little worried. Like Goddard at 5 for me is just a little bit too high. I think Ertz is going to mix in enough where you're not going to see the full Goddard that we should have got with Ertz moving on to a different team.
2 points per reception here for Tupac forever. Higgins or CD?
I'll go CD Lamb here.
At 2 points per reception, that like in a league like that, usually like you're basically just like Derrick Henry should be like drafted in like the third round or fourth round. Honestly,
yeah.
If one target already costs, if already equals 2.7 attempts, then when it's 2 point,
that's wild.
Yeah.
Or maybe this is 0.2 because I've been seeing that a lot in our comments actually. Like I've seen like a handful of times like 0.2 points per reception, like 0.25.
0.25 maybe.
Yeah.
0.2 we're just
either way this
is
Lamb for me. Either way this is Lamb.
Yeah.
Kev, you're washed out already, so who'd you play between Deontay and Lamb? For me, this is Lamb again.
Yep. I think if you're going to be worried about a wide receiver in this Bucs matchup, I think you're more worried about Cooper. Even though they've talked about moving Lamb around a little bit more, not having him exclusively in the slot, I do think you'll see better matchups with Lamb. And even though I liked Cooper long term a little bit better than Lamb, I like Lamb better in this matchup in week 1. So Lamb will still stay pretty high for me.
Kev, I know where you sit on this one again. Nacho year again. That is fantastic. I saw the fantastic.
Brutal. That is brutal.
Robbie, your thoughts on this, Lamar or Dak?
This is easily Lamar. Lamar should be a top 3 option this week.
Hi, Kroos. It seems like he's tweeting out positive things, but we will be live on Sunday morning again, getting you guys ready for lock. We will be going live at 11 a.m. Eastern. So swing back through on Sunday. Obviously, we'll know by then. We'll have a much clearer idea. It seems like he is. I'm telling myself this because I planted my flag so hard on Eckler, but we're going to be okay. We're not starting the year off like this. We're going to be okay. Ilias, should I start Hurts or Herbert? This is Jalen, pretty easy for me.
Yep.
Raylan, same thing. Come swing through on Sunday, and we will help you out there. Ashton traded Ingram and Lattimore for Goddard on Sunday.
Yeah,
did well.
Even before the Latavius news, that was still a dub. So we already answered the start-sit portion, but thoughts on trading before week 1?
Trading one of those guys or just trading in general?
I think just trading in general.
Yeah, I think whenever you have an opportunity to make your team better and if the trade's right for you, absolutely. Drafts don't always go the way that you wanted to, and maybe you had to settle for a player or something like that you don't love and you wanted to make a certain move. Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the points I think we've made is we don't always love having your handcuffed to your running back stud, and sometimes the value is just too good where you need to take them, and maybe you can flip that guy for an Antonio Brown or some wide receiver you think will be a good flex. So I think absolutely you look to trade when you can.
Yeah, so don't do it out of boredom.
Yes,
I know. There's someone in
Dynasty.
my home league. There's somebody in my home. Yeah, Dynasty especially. There's someone in my home redraft league. Shout out Frank, who will just send you a 7 for 7 and a 5 for 5. It is literally never a 2 for 1. It's always I want your 5 guys. You take my 5 guys, and it's always just out of boredom. He's I don't know, man. I kind of like him. I want him. So don't do it out of boredom. Do it when it makes sense. Noel has another trade question here. And I believe they'd be getting Kittle, not trading Kittle away. AB, Gordon, and another piece for Kittle. I don't care about losing Gordon, so that's fine with me. Would we trade AB, Gordon, and one of these bench players for Kittle?
Yeah,
I would. Yeah. And I
who would the third person you would include?
I think it's Callaway.
Yeah, preferably not Henderson. Myers would be the first guy I'd try and trade away than Callaway. Because I just think Callaway just has a much higher ceiling. You could see him having a breakout year where I think a lot of things have to go right for Jacoby Meyer in that offense with a rookie quarterback.
You watch your mouth, okay? We will not talk poorly of or ill of Jacoby Myers or Marquez Callaway for that matter, or Terrace Marshall. Those.
Terrace Marshall.
Kev,
He wasn't in there, Kev.
Kev, who's the third person?
Down, Kev.
Darrell Henderson.
No.
Well, we were of no help. We all had
realistically, you probably trade Jacoby Myers.
You don't want to trade Jacoby Myers was a last round pick. Henderson was a 6th round pick at worst. You're not trading him over.
Yeah, I saw this question when it came in. This question is hard. Because I do not love Joe Burrow this week. And so, this question is much difficult. When I first saw it, I was like, oh, okay. So I started trying to think about it, who would I go with here? Because this is it shouldn't be that close. It should be Joe Burrow pretty easily. But I don't know if it is Joe Burrow pretty easily.
Give me Ben this week. I think of all the shitty matchups, his is the least shitty. That is my hashtag analysis.
Yeah, and I think with the matchup they have against Buffalo,
it's not an easy. That's not easy.
It's not easy. Like I said, it's the least
Buffalo's
shitty.
Defense is very it's an average defense. It's in a slightly above average to average.
Yeah,
defense.
you shouldn't let it factor too much. I agree.
Yeah, it's not my God, they're playing Buffalo.
I agree.
So, and I think that they're not going to be able to ground and pound and run the football like they I think they want to a lot this year, and so this game they're going to have to throw. And so I think with all the weapons that we're talking about with him as well, I think it is Big Ben.
Yeah, I'll stick with Burrow, but you can make an argument for Ben. I can hear an argument for it, but I'll go Burrow.
Is Saquon going to play?
I mean, we don't have like 100% confirmation that he's going to play, but I have heard yet to hear anything. And I don't. I mean, as far as I know, the padded practice that he went through today went well, and so that was kind of the final leap for him to be able to need. They wanted him to get through. So it sounds like he's going to play.
Robbie or Rojo at flex?
I'll go with the namesake, Robbie Anderson.
I like Robbie here as well. The double revenge game.
Right. Yes. There we go.
Let's go. Kev, you're good. Oh my God.
Ronald Jones.
Yeah. Cut that, please, in the editing.
Yeah.
Cody, cut that.
Producer, we need that cut. All right, we got it. Jasper, who should I start at quarterback? Aaron Rodgers or Hurts?
That one is
Give me
tough.
Hurts.
But I'm gonna go Hurts. Yeah. I mean, we both have Jalen Hurts top four quarterbacks this week. Me and Cody. So yeah.
Yep.
There's no chance for me that Aaron Rodgers doesn't get you 20 to 22 fantasy points, and he has the same upside as a Jalen Hurts, whereas there could be a chance where Jalen Hurts has an off game, right? I get it. The matchup is great, so you're not expecting it, but I know Aaron Rodgers is going to be good. So I have Aaron Rodgers slightly ahead just because there's no risk with this play for him.
I will say that obviously Aaron Rodgers is safer. And like sitting Aaron Rodgers and against the Saints defense that I'm not particularly all that concerned with because they've lost a lot of pieces on that defense over this offseason. So I definitely think Aaron Rodgers is the safer play. And he's in a good matchup too. I mean, they have one of the highest implied point totals this week as well. And so but Jalen Hurts and this matchup against Atlanta, against that defense, against with his rushing upside that he presents, it's tough.
Everybody healthy.
Yeah.
Jasper, the real play here is to trade one of those quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So hope that both blow up.
Mm-hmm.
Hope that you have your pick. Dangle both of them out on your trade bait and see who you get back with the best offer. I would be fine riding with either of those guys for the rest of the year. So that is the play that I would go with there. T or Henderson in the flex full PPR.
T Higgins.
Yep.
Gus or Deontay. Give me Gus.
This is really close. I might go Deontay here because, again, just with the amount of target share that he got last year, again, they might not throw as much as they did last year. That'd be really crazy if they did. But still, just from a PPR standpoint, he could have, 5, 6, 7 more catches than him, and you're hoping that Gus, scores to keep up with that. So I'm gonna go Deontay.
Kev, break the tie.
I'm gonna go Gus.
Eckler or Saquon?
Eckler. Assuming health.
I'm going Saquon.
Eckler for me.
Can I ask one question though, and maybe he can answer it? Who else do you have that you're starting that you can't start both?
Yes. Good question. Raylan, if you're still rocking with us, let us know that if one of you guys can keep an eye at the bottom of the chat, we'll swing back to this. But for me, it's Eckler. Just feel safer about him. Assuming health, just feel a little bit safer with him in that matchup. AB or Locket?
Locket.
Goddard, Higbee, Tanyan.
Goddard.
Yeah, got it.
I would go Tanya there just for the record. Jay is back. It's Jay. It's Jay. Jay is here. Jay, what is up, Jay?
That was hilarious. The last time he was there, he let him know. Okay?
Oh, he did. Hey, I'm appreciative of it. Charker Hunt, half PPR.
Hunt.
Yep.
Justin Young, A-Rob, Godwin, Davis, Cooks, Claypool, and a full PPR. We need 2. First 2.
Yeah, A-Rob and Godwin.
Jay just made a trade. Henry and Higgins for Zeke and Keenan full PPR.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't even make sense to me. That doesn't make sense to me, but good on you.
That's how you do it right there. You trade Derrick Henry to the Derrick Henry stands and let them take the L on Derrick Henry this year.
We like Higgins here, but we love Keenan Allen here.
Oh yeah.
Good for you, Jay. Sports films, Swift or Henderson?
Swift.
Yep. Full practice, Swift.
The battle of the truthers, Javonte or Sermon? Full PPR from Big Luke.
It's 100% Javonte.
Just the way he says it. Just like he says it. Like,
listen, listen. Here's the thing. You got to have conviction in your takes, okay? You gotta let people know that you have conviction in it. You can't be like, oh, well, I don't know. Maybe I'll go with this guy. I'm not real sure. You got to go, okay? You got to drop your nuts on the table and let people know.
For me. Stand
by your takes.
Sermon for me.
Yep.
Holy shit. This guy I have Aaron Jones, Joe Mixon, Eckler, and Saquon as. How did you do that? How did you get all those guys? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
That is a. I would not. I'm gonna say this. I would not really that would suck to have to make those decisions every week because while it's cool, you're almost surely gonna get one wrong every week, and you're gonna be pissed that you set one.
Yeah. I would like to think that with those running backs, your wide receivers are a little lacking. So I would be looking to package up one of those backs with maybe your wide receiver 2 or something and go get you a stud at wide receiver. That's bonkers. That has to be like an 8-team league, right?
Maybe it's a keeper league.
We have a keeper is what I was thinking.
Yeah, because in my keeper league, I have Saquon, Aaron Jones, Nick Chubb, and Miles Sanders. So
that's bonkers. Now we see why you have to make that decision. Cooper, Deontay, AB, Boyd, full PPR, need 2 again for Justin.
First 2.
Yeah. First 2.
Cooper and Boyd for me.
Wait. Why? Just explain to me why you're taking Boyd over Deontay.
Matchup.
Why do you hate the Steelers so much, Cody?
I don't hate the Steelers. I just said to start Ben over Burrow. I don't hate the Steelers. I just don't like the matchup for Deontay. I think Trey White is one of the guys who will shadow. And I think with the way
why do you think he would shadow Deontay?
I think he shadows Claypool.
Yeah.
Size.
But I don't think I think they have too many weapons. I don't think they shadow anybody. I think they just play their sides.
Either way, he's going to see enough of Trey White. Boyd in the slot. The O-line, D-line matchup for Minnesota is not great. Not going to be a lot of time for those plays to develop. I think Burrow, and especially if he is still not feeling 100% mentally there with that knee, he's not going to be holding onto the ball because there's going to be pressure in his face the entire game. And I just think he's going to be getting rid of it. And it's going to be Mixon and Boyd leading the way week 1 for the Bengals. That's why. Full PPR, I would lean Boyd. But I'm obviously outvoted, so it doesn't matter. Anthony Ford wants to get cute. Might wear a tank top. I don't know. So I said Zeke for Mostert. Gus is my number 2.
No,
I would not.
Nope.
Especially because we don't know what that split. Obviously, if this were the Mostert show, I think you could get away with getting cute week 1 and doing that. But with Mostert and Sermon splitting some of those touches, we don't know exactly how that's going to go. I would not get cute there.
Yeah, I think you still have to play Zeke because even if they fall behind, they throw the ball a lot. I mean, he's going to be the beneficiary. He's going to get a lot of targets. So, I think you still play Zeke.
Off subject, and for me, selfishly, Tony Pollard over 11.5 receiving yards tomorrow.
Yes.
Thought so.
I take it.
Fuck you, Tom. Higgins, Claypool, Monty, Devonta Smith, Myers, full PPR in the flex, need 1.
Cody, I didn't mention that I never win props, so I think you should just do the opposite of whatever I say.
I was more or less paying attention to Kev.
Yes, that was smart. This one just needs 1. Gosh.
This is tough.
Gosh.
Yeah.
I like Higgins. I like
Smith
Devontae
a lot this week.
I think Monty's okay. I mean, it's not a great matchup against the Rams, but
I'm going Monty or Higgins. I could be talked into either one. If I had to pick one, probably Higgins, but I'm good with those two being kind of far and away above the rest of the group.
Kev, what you got?
I think I would go either Higgins or Devonta Smith. And I think I would lean Devonta. I would lean Higgins. Yeah.
I'm outvoted. Mine would be Devonta, but roll with Higgins there. I've been outvoted once again. Jasper has another question. In a flex full PPR, Judy, Robbie, Brandon. It's definitely not Brandon Cooks.
Correct.
It's Jerry Judy. I think there's a pretty strong chance that we see Brandon Cooks get traded here really quickly.
It really doesn't make any sense.
They're doing a complete fire sale. They traded Bradley Roby today. Like they are trying to get.
Where did he go? I didn't see that.
They traded him to the Saints.
Okay.
So I think probably within the I would say I think with by the over under 4 weeks, I think it's under that. I think he gets traded. But whatever.
Half PPR flex question. Mike Davis, Devonta Smith, AB.
Mike Davis.
Yeah.
8-team dynasty. Higgins or Mostert in the flex.
Eight-team. Man. I guess you're just, shooting for who. These are both good plays. So I think it's who can have that higher ceiling. And I guess I'd just take T. Higgins. I do think he's in line to maybe have double-digit touchdowns this year. So I like T. Higgins the most out of all three of those Bengals wide receivers. So I'll rock T. Higgins.
I'm going to go Mostert if we're swinging upside. I think it's a little easier to see Mostert in that matchup, just rip off 2 massive runs, go for $120 and 2. I'm not entirely sure Higgins has that.
Yeah.
It feels really gross sitting Higgins for Mostert though. But in this matchup, I think you can. I think you can do it. Kev split the difference here. Higgins or Mostert, 8-team.
Mostert.
Look at this. Darren just coming in, just super flexing on everybody. Whew. Russ, Allen, Herbert. First two for me.
Yeah, Russ and Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good for you.
Daryl. Love it.
Burrow or Fitz. So now we have taken Ben out of it.
It's like, nope, you didn't give me the answer I was looking for. So we're going to narrow this down.
I appreciate that.
Then yes, here you go, Burrow.
Yeah. Abraham wants to know Logan Thomas or Goddard.
Logan Thomas.
Oh my God. Sorry, that wasn't you. Go ahead.
Real hater of Logan Thomas here.
No, that was. Thought we were catching up on questions, and we are not.
No.
Let's go Goddard.
Rodgers or Hurts. I think we got this one already.
Yeah.
Traded Saquon for Eckler and Devonta Smith.
I don't mind it. I mean,
It's
I think
Yeah.
if Devonta takes off like we think he's going to, like he can, then it could end up being a great trade.
Yeah.
But if Saquon returns to being Saquon, could also hurt a little. But I think it's worth it.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I like it. Better Fitz.
Ben.
Alejandro, look at good seeing these faces in here. Davis for Chris Carson. I like it. I like the upgrade. That's one of those like 1-for-1 swaps I normally don't like at the same position, but that works.
Look what you've done, Kevin. Look what you've done.
You guys have no idea how excited I am for Sunday. And people are like, "Oh, it's because I'm a Chiefs fan. Oh, it's because the Chiefs are playing." Like that's cool and all, but I'm excited to see the Jets play football and see what happens with this situation with Ty Johnson, because I am going to be an insufferable son of a bitch come next week if he goes out and gets
next week
15 touches, 80 yards and a touchdown or something. Like, you are going to be hearing it.
Answer the question.
You know the answer. Why do I need to answer it? You know what I'm going to say. Tyson Williams took a big blow when they signed Le'Veon Bell. I don't think Le'Veon Bell's good by any means, but he's certainly there now, and like it's
he's on the practice squad. He's on the practice squad
for now.
Okay,
We're
only talking week one.
What?
Week one.
It's 100%. It's Ty Johnson.
Robbie.
No. This is Tyson Williams. You have a better offense. You have the top rushing offense. I get it. They don't have J.K. Dobbins, so maybe it takes a little bit of a step back. You have a much better line. You only have 2 guys compared to 3. No, this is absolutely Tyson Williams. Ty Johnson could get 6 to 8 carries, like maybe.
He's going to be the pass catching back, too. Like, I don't know why we're just neglecting that
He's the worst pass catching back of the 3, but yes, he could be the pass catching back.
Is he? Yes. He had 20 and very, very, very limited opportunities. He had 24 targets last year.
It's a whole different. We're not going. It's a whole different offense. You're acting like Michael Carter is AJ fucking Dillon. Start 3 for Alejandro. Ty Johnson long term. Tyson Williams week 1 for me as well. Start 3 for Alejandro. Evans, Judy, A-Rob, Callaway. First 3.
First 3, not close.
Kyler or Tanny?
Kyler
for me as well. Kev, 12-team full PPR, Pittman or Mostert?
Mostert.
Robbie, Walito needs 3 of these, 2 running backs and a flex. Najee, Gibson, Trent Richardson, Justin Jefferson.
Trent Richardson.
For those who don't know,
would be
Trent Richardson and Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, man. Good night. You give me the tough one here. I will go Gibson, Justin Jefferson, Najee. Gibson, Justin Jefferson, probably Najee as my 3rd.
Kev? I'm going to go Gibson, Taylor, and JJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Third guy, they're very close.
Kev, throw this one at you. Matt Ryan or Dak?
I would play Matt Ryan.
Robbie?
No, I'm doing Dak here.
I'm going to go Dak as well.
You got to rank it that way, Kev. You got to rank it that way. Like they're not even close in your rankings.
Time for an update.
Yeah, I mean, I did those like 4 days ago. So
fair.
The sensei wants to know Locket or Gaskins.
Tyler Lockett here.
Same for me. Kev, you're going to go Gaskin here?
Yeah.
I'm going to go Locket. Goddard or Gasecki?
I like Gasicki actually in this matchup a lot. I think with Will Fuller being out, I think Gasicki actually sees quite a bit of target share here in week 1.
Give me Goddard. I think it's going to be a higher scoring affair. Kev, break the tie. Goddard, Gasecki.
Goddard.
This is Aaron Jones. I feel comfortable saying that across the board. Raylan. Herbert or Lawrence, week 1?
Closer than it should be, but it's Justin Herbert.
God, yeah.
This is Herbert with the asterisk of Urban Meyer as head coach. I just really don't know what to expect. I really don't. Lawrence, no doubt, has the much better matchup. If for some reason Eckler sits, I would lean Lawrence.
Yeah.
But
again, really close. I'll go Lawrence.
I might have those guys like 12 and 13, 12
Yep.
and 14. I think I have them. Rank the Jags receivers here for Alejandro, Kev.
Chenault. Marvin Jones and then Chark, but it's really close.
Robbie, your thoughts?
Yeah, pretty close. I'll put the Marvin Jones and Chenault kind of as the really close ones, and then Chark a distant third.
Cowboys here. Good to see MFK rocking with us. Yeah, I know. MFK's been a while away for a while. Alejandro, let us know where you drafted Henry. I think that would be because if he fell, you're probably not going to get as much as you would think. But if you took him at 3, there might be another Derrick Henry stan in your league. So let us know where you drafted him, and then that'll give us a better idea. I hope I'm not skipping anybody. Did we already answer this one?
No.
Henderson or Golladay?
I'll go Henderson here.
All right.
I'm going to go Kenny Golladay.
I can't. I have to go Henderson. I think it's just adding on from the trade that Jay made.
Wow.
Kyle D back with us as well. Higgins or Cooks at flex?
Higgins.
Yes.
Mostert or J-Rob? This is J-Rob for me.
Yes.
Here we go. Carter or Coleman?
Neither. That's not even close. It's legitimately neither.
Yeah. If you
Cody, I know real quick. I know Kev's answer. If you projected a Jets running back to be the leading running back on that team, who are you projecting?
I still think Michael Carter could win that out by – I still think no matter who is the lead back, it's not going to be a 65-35, 70-30. I still think it's going to be a 55-45 split. At this point, I don't think any of these guys end up really, making the case to be the guy. I do think Carter could get the edge. I think with his background and how well he does with zone running, obviously they drafted him. Ty Johnson was a holdover. I think Tevin Coleman is the warm body until these other guys get acclimated to the offense. I think Coleman is the clear number 3 at the end of the year. But I think Carter and Ty Johnson are going to be super close at the end of the year. I don't think either of these guys get a 60-40. I think that's where it's going to be around.
And that's honestly why. That's what I've said. I think it's going to be Ty Johnson and Michael Carter. I think Tevin Coleman's a non-factor. I'm not worried about Tevin Coleman. I do think Michael Carter eventually, and at the very least, I think he can become a satellite back plus type running back, right? But I do think it's going to be Ty Johnson who is going to be that guy. That again, and I'm not. That's what I've said. And I think he's probably like a low end RB2. I think it's where maybe he can finish this year. Which that's not like a huge bar. Like I think when we talk about that, people hear that RB2 and like, oh man, that's a lot. It's not like a huge deal. But for a guy that's absolutely free right now, I think that's where the appeal from him comes. So, but I agree. I think it is both of them. I think it's Michael Carter and him, and Ty Johnson. I just don't think Tevin Coleman matters.
I think for week 1, I'm starting Coleman though.
Yeah, these 49ers, these Shanahan tree, they seem to love Tevin Coleman. I would not be surprised if he had a decent.
And can I just ask real quickly though, what went so wrong in your draft that you're having this decide between starting both of them?
Fair. So it is a keeper league for Raylan. Someone dropped Henderson. That doesn't make sense.
So, they were worried about Sony. Sony came in.
You'd be surprised. On my home league, Sony Michel got drafted well ahead of Darrell Henderson.
Crazy. Gaskin or Pittman in a full PPR?
Gaskin.
Pittman for me. Robbie, break the tie.
Yeah, I just don't have the same conviction as Kevin. I could be wrong. This could be one of my bigger misses with Gaskin. I just don't have the same conviction on him. I'm going to go Pittman.
I just like the revamped and retooled defense for New England as well. I think that front seven against that offensive line, Gaskin's probably going to end up going down as a miss for me as well, especially if all these late reports are true. But for this week, I give the nod to Pittman. Brady or Rodgers this week. For me, it's Brady. Obviously, I have him at 1, but I know I'm alone in that. So what do you guys have?
I still think it's Brady. I have Brady at 7, just ahead of Rodgers. So,
Robbie, Barkley in the flex with limited reps, or go Chark or Ayuk?
Maybe with different options, but no, Barkley's your best choice here. Ayuk did practice in full, so we were worried a little bit about his injury status. But yeah, out of these names, Barkley should be the one that starts here.
Kev, Davis or Devonta?
This is Smith.
Smith for me as well. Robbie, James Robinson or Amari Cooper? 6-man league.
God, we're getting down there. I might go James Robinson here.
I was gonna say this shouldn't be close. This is James Robinson.
I'm gonna go. I might go James Robinson here.
Now, this Houston defense. This is going to be the. Are they playing Houston this week? You're playing them. It's that simple.
Hot take. I think Houston might
Here we
win.
go, Kev. Sorry, Robbie. Hot take what?
I think Houston might win. I think this is going to be one of those ugly games where Houston might get their only win.
Stop it.
First overall picks are like 0-6-1 in their first week 1 start. So there is not good trends for Trevor Lawrence.
Except for when they're playing Houston.
That's true. They've not played Houston yet.
This one's for you. Full PPR. Jacoby, Mike Will, or Terrace Marshall?
I'm going to go Mike Williams. But I do like Terrace Marshall a lot. So I think it's between either one of them two. But I think I would lean towards Mike Williams.
Robbie, just because you had such a visceral reaction, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't know. That's tough. Man, I thought the Terrace Marshall guy might take his man here because I think that the opportunity for a touchdown is there against this Jets secondary. This should be Jacoby, but I don't like the matchup at all going against two extremely difficult corners. Probably one of the best duos. So that should be Jacoby, but it's not here. Mike Williams going against a really, really good defense as well. I might just take the touchdown upside here with the Terrace Marshall.
And I don't mind that either. I mean, I have them really close. I think I have Marshall at 53 and I have Mike Williams at 51. So that's really close. I do like both of them, and I do like Terrace Marshall and this year. And it's insane to me how widely available he still is on waivers. Like he's the guy. Like if there was a like one player that I would say if like this guy is available on waivers right now, like that would be go get him. Like he should not be sitting on waivers.
Kev, coming right back to you. Shenault, Chark, or Robbie Anderson need one in the full PPR.
Shenault.
Robbie, we need 3 here. Keenan, Ayuk, Cooper, Anderson.
Yeah, going back to that last question, I think Robbie Anderson can be really good, especially in this Week 1 matchup. Keenan Allen for sure. I'll be lower on Ayuk and probably go Cooper and Robbie Anderson. So Keenan Allen for sure, Cooper, and then Robbie Anderson for me.
I'm going the first 3 there.
Yep, that's probably consensus.
Darnold or Cousins, Kev?
Darnold.
Rock out coming through with the super chat. 2 flex, pick 2. AB, Callaway, Judy, Davis.
Corey Davis and Judy.
AB and Judy.
AB and Judy for me as well. Appreciate that super chat. Rock out. Appreciate all you guys. Please hit us with a sub and a like if you have yet to do so. Cole coming through. Who should I start at flex? Henderson, Juju, Melvin, Marvin Jones.
I think Henderson. I'll probably have Henderson ranked the highest in flex rankings here.
Juju.
I like Juju here as well. Not a fantastic matchup for Henderson. I lean Juju there, but it would be Juju, Henderson, Jones, and then Melvin for me if I were to rank all 4. What does the addition of Lev Bell mean for the Baltimore backfield? We haven't really gotten into this, so I real quickly just general thoughts for me. The fact that he's still on the practice squad, I really don't know what to do with that. He was in a better offense last year. Still, really didn't do much outside. I think he had like 1 pretty solid game, maybe 2. They had to do something, and I think we're clinging on to the name. Is kind of my thoughts.
So I think it has more to. I think it affects Tyson. I don't think it really affects Gus Edwards all that much.
Yes.
But he's on the practice squad out of just pure the only reason he's on the practice squad because they just signed him. Like that's it. Like they've already said that probably next week he's going to be elevated to the 53. Like he's only there because they just picked him up, and so. That means nothing to me that he's on the practice squad. But do I think that he matters for Gus Edwards? No. But I don't really care about the pass catching part of it because I mean, if you look at the Ravens last year, they only targeted the running backs 50 times last year, so none of that really matters either. But I just think it sucks for Tyson Williams, who we picked up. And thought that maybe he could be a guy this year that had some value. Now I think it probably kind of kills him a little bit.
Yeah, and I think that's where we're getting caught up in the name. I think you should look at Justice Hill and his role in the offense, and you should look at Le'Veon Bell and feel no different. Because I think at this stage in his career as a pass-catching back, as a runner, he's probably the same talent as Justice Hill was. So whatever you thought of Tyson Williams when it was Justice Hill, I think you should think the same now with Le'Veon Bell. I'm not concerned.
JML has a couple here for us in a 16-team league. Cobb or Ruggs in the flex?
I'm going Cobb.
Me too. Doyle or Cook at tight end, Robbie?
God, we are reaching down there with Doyle. I'm going to go Jared Cook.
Dan Arnold.
Raylan, we are Kyler stands here. To take Brady over those guys also would tell me that you drafted Brady pretty early as well.
If this is 6 point per passing, I don't think it's as bad, actually. I think Brady is obviously a lot more valuable in that type of setting. You're lowering the rushing quarterbacks a little bit, and somebody who can throw 40 touchdowns this upcoming year. I think that is where it's a little bit closer, but I'll probably still have Kyler over Brady in that.
Yeah, I mean, in the third round.
Oh Lord. Yeah, that was a miss.
Too early, but hey.
But see, so I mean, if you look at Brady, like this is kind of the kind of like the Derrick Henry discussion, right? In terms of like PPR formats, why you don't draft him. It's the same thing for a quarterback like Tom Brady. Why you don't draft him early? Because I mean, Tom Brady had a monster year last year, 4,600 yards with 40 passing touchdowns, but he was still only 10th at fantasy points per game at quarterback. You know, like, and so. Like, I don't mind, like, if all these other guys are off the board, sure. Like, that fine, take them there, whatever. But, like, his ceiling is not anywhere close to the guys that are above him. Not anywhere close. There is, like, zero chance in hell that he finishes as the quarterback one this year, and you should be looking for the same shot whenever anybody you draft, especially as going to be the starter, in my opinion.
Swift, Javonte, Jerry Jeudy, AB, Chris Carson need 2. So we need a running back and a flex out of this group.
Swift and Carson.
Yes.
Robbie, throwing this one to you. Any tips for somebody to start a dynasty league? First of all, welcome.
Yes. Fantastic. Love that. Get a platform that you guys can all chat on. We use Voxer. I know some people use Discord or Slack. Find a channel where you guys can all get in. You guys can banter. You guys can have arguments, talk trades. You can DM your league mates and get activity going. That's the biggest thing with Dynasty is that you have activity throughout the whole year. When week 17, now week 18 hits, it's not the end of the season. Trades are going to happen. People are going to keep going. So get in a league chat where you guys can keep in contact.
Yeah, I agree, and I think it also depends on if you're all new to it as well. Like, my other thing would be also don't become a snob either. Like don't like that. That's one thing that I see. I can't remember the comment I saw the other day, but there was a comment I saw that I almost felt like Kev for a second because I almost responded. It was like, this is why people don't join Dynasty because they think it's this fucking mountaintop holy grail that only the best of the best play. I can't. I wish I could remember who it was so I could call him out now, but I can't. But just have fun with it. Don't overthink the whole Dynasty side of it. And any questions you have, please hit us up. But
Yes.
I think the activity is the most important part. If you want to get super crazy with the activity, we definitely have some ideas. We do, Robbie and I are in a league together for Dynasty. We have a March Madness bracket. We do a draft contest kind of thing. So there's a lot of things you can do. You can do different best balls. So if you guys are all about it and you want to stay active, hit us up. You can hit Robbie up at NFL Robbie on Twitter. You can drop a comment, join the Discord, and we can give you some different ideas on that as well. But I will say Dynasty is my preferred one, but don't be a dick. Don't be a Dynasty dick would be my 2 cents.
Yeah, well, okay, let's talk about Dynasty. No.
God.
You don't want to, I can't get started on that. Let's go.
Kev, Corey Davis, AB, Devonta Smith, full PPR on the flex.
I'm going to go Devonta Smith.
Robbie for Andrew, Burrow or Trevor Lawrence?
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence for me, so I'm not you took too long. Rachetta back in the chat. Let's go. Abraham's bench. I know he posted the his starting lineup earlier. Sutton, Golladay, Goddard, Hollywood, Sermon, Zach Wilson. Drop Zach Wilson because he had Kyler as well, correct? Yeah, so drop Zach Wilson would be my first one. Other than that, like your starting lineup was solid enough.
Get some running back depth. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drop Zach Wilson and pick up the best available RB there. Also, Abraham, join the Discord. What are you doing? Join the Discord and we can send a screenshot of your waiver options and we can help you out there. Cole has another question. Devonta Smith, Jamar Chase, Pittman, or Connor?
Devonta Smith. It's really close. I like both him and Pittman a lot, but I think I would go Smith, yeah.
Yeah, Pittman for me with Chase right behind.
I wish I would just pop up. JK coming through with the super. Man, we appreciate you. You guys are crushing today. We really, truly do appreciate that. Hats off. Kudos to all of you. Need 2 receivers, 1 running back, and a flex. So let's start with the receivers here. Ayuk, AB, Lamb, Keenan. It's the last 2 for me.
Yeah.
1 running back, Harris, Gibson, Gaskins.
Gibson.
And now we need a flex.
Ayuk.
Yeah, I think I'll go Ayuk there.
Ayuk for me as well. Let me get back up to here. Speaking of Ayuk, Anderson or Ayuk?
Ayuk.
Robbie Anderson.
I'm going Ayuk there. Edwards or Mostert? Would you start Gus Edwards over Raheem Mostert? Or possibly A-Rob in the flex?
Or? I mean, you're starting Allen Robinson, I think, if you can. That's the question.
Who else do you have? That's what I would want to know. Like, who else? Why are you not starting Allen Robinson? Who's starting a wide receiver? If you're not, it sounds like you're not even starting Allen Robinson.
So the way I read this was could start both running backs if they bumped out A-Rob from the flex. That's the way that I read it.
Yeah, and you're sticking with A-Rob.
And I would start Gus over Mostert.
Same.
Let us know if we butchered that courtesy. Noah, rate this team 12-man. Mahomes, Jamal Williams, McLaurin, Ayuk, Andrews.
Wait, his RB2 is Jamal Williams?
Yeah, that's scary.
That's beyond scary. You're in trouble. Jamal Williams might get 4 or 5 fantasy points a week.
Noah, who else do you have at running back?
That is anchor RB to the fullest because then he goes Mahomes, Javonte. I don't even know how he did this, but he's got Tay, McLaurin, Andrews, Mahomes. Had to be some trades in there, but yeah, second running back's tough.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know if you have any other options to throw in over Jamal Williams. AB or Gibson in the flex?
Gibson.
Carson or Edwards?
Carson.
Need a flex here for Alejandro, Watkins, Elijah Moore, Amon-Ra, Callaway, Beasley.
Callaway.
Man, that's a guy we have not talked about, Cole Beasley. Yeah, gosh, I don't even know where I have him ranked, but that's a name that when you look at all these names, probably going Cole Beasley here.
The Steelers might be okay with their slot receiver, especially after picking up Witherspoon. So they're probably going to move Sutton to the slot, I would assume. And Sutton has been a really good slot corner. Man. If Crowder sits, give me Elijah Moore. If he does not, give me Sammy Watkins. Kev, DJ or Lindsey to be the Texans' RB1?
It's David Johnson. I mean, I guess. I mean, I think if I had to choose one or the other, like, give me David Johnson because it sounds like he's going to be the pass catcher. Because, I mean, that's not Philip Lindsay's game. Philip Lindsay's not going to be the pass catching running back there. And so it sounds like that's the way they're going to use David Johnson. And so I would just give me the guy who's got to catch passes.
Robbie, DJ Moore and Golladay for Robert Woods a good trade?
No, I don't think you're upgrading enough from DJ Moore to Robert Woods. You needed a better target there, probably like the Justin Jefferson, A.J. Brown, Keenan Allen level. Shoot a tier higher.
Or get something back with Woods.
Sure.
As much as I've been shitting on Golladay, they're not Golladay apart between those two receivers. So see if you can get something back in return. Kev, Shepard or Odell?
It's Odell.
Appreciate that. Raylan, thank you for the kind words. Singletary or Moss?
So it's Moss. It's Zack Moss for me. But that's who I would go with. I don't like either one of them. I wouldn't want to play either one of them because the Steeler the defense is excellent. This is not the week that I would want to have to play any of, but if I absolutely had to, it'd be Zack Moss.
Kev, I will say I'd rather play Ty Johnson over both these guys this week. You can pick him. I'm halfway joking or like just saying that to be a dick toward you, but I think if
he just posted in here, said full season, so I'm guessing he's not meeting this week.
Okay. Still Ty Johnson.
That I disagree. A lot of people hate Zack Moss, and I like Zack Moss. I think that he can be he's not going to be anything he's not going to be anything fantastic, but I think he can be a serviceable, very low end RB2, high end RB3. I think he can be a flex, on certain matchups. This ain't it, but the weeks. I think overall, I think Zack Moss. I think I like him.
Yeah, I just think the pass catching is where Singletary has the clear favoritism here. You heard a lot of good things out of camp where he has turned the corner. They're hyping him up a lot. I think Singletary is definitely the back to own 100%, as Kev would say.
Hurts or Herbert? This is Hurts. Appreciate record coming in. First question on Twitch for the year. Yeah, the growth has been crazy, and we honestly do owe it all to you guys. It has been it's been wild. We were kind of like stagnant there for a while. We were like, man, like if hopefully we can get to 1,500 by the time the season starts, and now we're over 1,800 subs. So we owe that all to you. We really do appreciate that. Boba coming in. Been seeing Boba in the comments. Appreciate you jumping in live with us. Start one, Javonte, AJ Dillon, Sony Michel, Pollard in a PPR.
Also in the Discord too.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go with Javonte Williams here.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. Who would be the second pick here for you guys? Pollard or Dillon?
Dillon. I think Dillon has standalone value.
Yeah.
You think Pollard would too, though, from playing from behind. And if the offseason reports from McCarthy are true that they're going to look to limit Zeke early on in the year because they want to save him for later. But yeah, Javonte. Swift or Melvin Gordon at running back is Swift.
Yeah.
Chenault or Devonta, it's Devonta. Walito needs 2 wide receivers. So receivers Cooper, McLaurin, Cooks, A-Rob, Juju, Callaway.
Do you think he has Cooks on every single team he has? Just every single one. And Callaway.
This is Cooper and McLaurin for me.
Ooh, I missed A-Rob down there. I might start A-Rob over Cooper. I'll go A-Rob, McLaurin, and then Swift in the flex.
Kev, what you got?
Yeah, I'm going to go McLaurin, A-Rob, and Swift in the flex.
That felt weird. Felt weird, Kev. Agreed on all 3 names. It felt weird.
Give me the heebie-jeebies. Tomb King has one. Need 2 out of Harris, Henderson, Swift, Connor, PPR.
Harrison, Swift, and it's not even close.
Swift.
I agree.
Swift.
Who's the other one? Robbie. Harris or Henderson?
I mean, I have Henderson higher. I think it's Henderson.
MFK just got a trade proposal. Landry, Gasecki, and Sermon for Kelsey.
No.
This
is not. See, this is one of those, like, I'm going to send you a bunch of shit for your absolute stud. Like, the positional advantage you get with Kelsey does not justify trading for the guys that are on this list.
Kelsey, the difference between Kelsey and Gasecki is way more than Landry and Sermon.
Yep.
Like that would probably need to be
like upgrade that Landry to, what do you guys think? The Cooper Cup range or even higher. And then I think you're enjoying that trade a little bit more.
That fall off from Kelsey to Gasecki is just miles and moons and leaps and bounds. Look at Walito coming through with the Discord link. Look at this. What a helper. What a nice little boy. Blast Tyrant Crow. Saquon on possible snap count, Carson Henderson or Jacobs. 2 RBs.
Saquon and Carson.
Yeah. Saquon and Carson for me as well. Got another trade here from Abraham. DJ Moore and Galladay for Lamb. So we've moved from, what was it, Bobby Trees the last time, correct?
Yeah.
Up to Lamb.
This I don't really mind.
It's closer.
I would do this one.
I'd maybe aim higher, and if you finally settle at this one, that's fine. But I think you can still aim higher than Lamb. I think you need to go for that tier of Keenan Allen, McLaurin, A.J. Brown, Justin Jefferson, like the 6 to 12 range. A-Rob.
See, I think he's in that range, though. I mean, I know I'm totally. I'm different. But I think he is in that range with those guys. So I think he's going to explode this year.
Yeah, absolutely has that upside to do.
A-Rob going to be stud or trash this year?
Absolutely a stud.
Yes. And if you don't have him and he struggles week 1, go out and make a trade offer for him. AB or Gus in the flex?
Gus.
Yeah, I think we had this one earlier. Gus.
So we're dropping Singletary. Tyson or Ty Johnson?
Ty Johnson.
I'm not dropping Singletary for Ty Johnson at all.
You should.
No.
And it's a very simple rationale. It's Singletary offers very like no ceiling, right? Like none. And I know that I'm not saying that Ty Johnson has some elite ceiling, but what I'm saying is that I think his ceiling is still higher than what Singletary's is, but his floor is 1,000% lower. But so I'm all about just trying to swing for that. like a swing for that, because it is very possible that he could end up being much more than what people think. And I get it that the chances are lower than that I probably would like to admit, but I'm still always looking for that, because I don't care. Like, Singletary's never anything where I'm going to be like, oh man, I'm so mad I dropped Devin Singletary. Like, that's never going to happen. And so even if Ty Johnson doesn't work out, I would rather keep turning that spot, trying to find that guy, than holding on to Singletary when am I ever really going to feel great about starting Devin Singletary? Probably not. I mean, he may come in a pinch, and when I may need him for 1 week for a flex spot. But overall, like, I just don't think that's ever going to happen. And so for me, that's why I have no problem with doing it, because I just don't think Singletary really offers anything. And so I think he's extremely capped. And so, like, whether it's Ty Johnson or anybody else, I would just rather probably have anybody else that I think that when you should always be looking for that home run, and that's what I'm looking for. And if Ty Johnson doesn't work out, fine, you drop him and you go after somebody else. I just don't think holding Singletary is something we should be doing. Like, because I just don't think he really offers a whole lot on a week-to-week basis. And I think
no matter who that person is, they're always going to be like, is this the week I drop them? Like, that's who this person's going to be. Like, I am with Kev here. I love Singletary coming out, but I think this is Ty Johnson. As long as we're not projecting, the only way that you're ever going to feel great starting Singletary is if Zack Moss goes down. Outside of that, like,
that's a lot more than what I think you need for Ty Johnson, right? You need two of those other running backs to go down or absolutely disappear, and then you're still talking about
Coleman disappears.
Sure. I mean, we're talking about, again, a top 5 offense versus what I think is bottom 5. If Kev, you're higher on him, we're still not talking more than bottom 10 offense. So the opportunity to score, and you only need one injury.
You're still talking about a run, but both those running backs are still way capped because of Josh Allen and what. So
there's caps on all these guys, but I just think there's a different cap.
I would disagree though with it on the standpoint of, because they don't have that. Like, and Ty Johnson very well could end up, it's in the range of possibilities. He could get 15 to 18 touches a game. It's not a high. This is not what I'm projecting. But what I'm saying is that opportunity is there, right? Like, without any injuries, without anything happening. Like, it's there for him, but it's not there for Devin Singletary as things currently stand, is what I'm saying. So
just throwing this one up quick, because Courtesy did respond. So let me scroll down. Oh my God, I lost it. This is fantastic. Okay, so Courtesy has Tyreek, Cooper Kupp at wide receiver. So that's why A-Rob is in the flex. So Gus. So Raymond coming back. Brady, Aaron Jones, Eckler, Mixon, Terry, Robbie, Tonyan.
Just trying to come in here with flex. Is that what we're doing? We're just flexing our teams.
We were also saying, like, hey, Brady way too early.
Excellent.
Yes. Yeah. Still too early for Brady, but the rest of the team makes up for it. Fant or Gasecki this week?
They're really close. I'll go Gasecki.
I'll go Fant.
Fant for me as well. A.J. Brown, DJ Moore, Juju, Jones, Ruggs at wide receiver, Kamara, Swift, Henderson, Gordon, Michael Carter at running back. Any ideas who I target for bench depth? Stronger at running back or wide receiver?
Definitely stronger at wide receiver.
Yeah.
I think I would try to find another running back. But we're not looking for, like, you shouldn't be headhunting for, like, a top 10 running back. I think trying to find some more depth, I think, is the way that I would try to do it. But what were you willing to give up to make it happen? I think you could give up maybe a Juju if you wanted to. And maybe even offer somebody like DJ Moore for Javonte Williams. I know that you're taking a little bit of a shot there by trying to make that work, but I just think trying to get somebody like that, I think, is I think you could probably make that work, especially prior to week 1.
Maybe even like a Juju for like a Chris Carson, like just like that, like boring running back, like nobody really loves. Like, especially if Juju has a good week this week, he's the one I'd be looking to move, because even if Marvin Jones pops off, you're not going to get much in return for him. So I think Juju is the guy here who I would be I'd be targeting, and like kind of look for somebody like that RB like 16 to 18-ish range. And I think Chris Carson, or like if Monty, has a bad game and Juju has a good game, I think that's an area where you could look.
Yep.
Tight end premium has 2 flex spots, drafted Kittle, Waller, and Hawk.
Was that a good idea? I mean, it's tight end premium, so that does help.
Yeah, I'd have to see the rest of the team and how that turned out.
And also what the premium is. But, I mean, we love, obviously, it's hard to poke holes in any of those guys. Even just to have one of those as a tight end and a premium.
Without seeing the rest of his team, I would say that you definitely are in a really good spot to be able to trade 2 of them and to be able to probably make a pretty substantial upgrade somewhere.
Yeah.
Depending on, I don't know what the rest of his team looks like, but I think you could move Hawk and Kittle. Like I would want Waller. That's the guy I'd want to keep, and not lose him. But yeah.
Yeah, you could still just trade one of those guys too and be able to make a nice upgrade. Speaking of trades, DJ Moore and Ayuk for JT has A-Rob Woods at wide receiver. RB is Eckler. Is get full PPR. Is that a good trade?
Yeah, I think that's good. You're still okay at wide receiver now. Where does the rest of the depth look like? But no, I think that's a good trade.
Yeah, I don't mind that either. Yeah.
Thoughts on Brian's roster: Wilson, Chubb, Najee, Julio, Godwin, Pitts, OBJ in the flex. Mostert's defense is Pittsburgh, Landry, Mooney, Tyson Williams, and Pittman on the bench.
Solid.
When I first saw Wilson, I was thinking Zack Wilson.
Yeah, same.
You might need to upgrade there, but yeah, no, yeah.
Would you drop Goddard for Everett? Is that a bad move?
Yes, it is. I would not do that.
Thoughts on this 12-person league: Allen, Henry, JT, Evans, Judy, Pitts, A-Rob, bench Zach Wilson, Lindsey, Singletary, Callaway, Galladay, Marshall, Ruggs, Fuller. Drop Zach Wilson.
Mm-hmm. Probably Lindsey. Yep.
And Singletary.
Evans, A-Rob, Judy, Pitts.
No, that's a really good starting.
Fuller.
And then he can just churn that bench, the bottom end of that bench. That's what you got to do now, Alejandro, is just be active on that bench.
Yeah, drop Zach Wilson, join the Discord, and then send us a screenshot of the running backs available on your waivers. Another squad to look at here: Mayfield, A-Rob, Woods, Eckler, JT, Pitts, Gibson. Love those running backs. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably going to want to stream quarterback because I don't think Baker is somebody that you're going to want on a weekly basis. But I think for this week, great pick. And hopefully, I'm hoping that on that bench, maybe you have like a Justin Fields sitting there on your bench. That's the way to do it. But
Marvin Jones or Brandon Cooks, or start both and sit Swift.
We have gotten to the part of the podcast, the show, that I think that I would say I would take Brandon Cooks. Yep.
You're not sitting Swift.
No, absolutely not. So I would start Brandon Cooks in this situation.
I do have Cooks higher, but yeah, Cooks is just a really safe floor guy. He's gonna get 7 catches for 70 yards.
Excellent. Sorry, I saw the comment from Brian saying I do have Fields on my bench. See, that is what we're doing. That is it. Excellent job. Excellent job, Brian.
That's how you pull that off.
Pro tip.
That is when we're okay with holding 2 quarterbacks when one of them is Lance or Fields. Kudos. Parker, Galladay, Goddard, Williams, or Chenault in the flex for MFK.
It's either Galladay or Chenault, and I'm going to go.
Give me Chenault.
Yeah, I'm going to go. Yeah, I'm going to go Laviska.
Make it a sweep.
Should someone who doesn't own Eckler go after Justin Jackson?
I'm definitely the highest on Justin Jackson. I think he's only reason he isn't more known is he's been injured through part of this training camp. And when he's played, his big thing is health. When he's played, he's actually been really efficient. Joshua Kelly was not efficient at all. So I think Justin Jackson is the guy to own here. And if we see that this hamstring is serious, I think he should be rostered.
Well, I don't think it's serious. I mean, it sounds like he's already said he's playing. So, I mean, but I don't know. Like, is he though? Like, and you said he's because he's always injured. Like, he's literally always injured. Like, there's never a time that like he's not injured. And so, I guess like if you want to go after Justin Jackson, I think it's fine. I don't mind it. I think there's better options. I think Tony Jones is certainly somebody that you could look at if he's sitting out there. Yeah.
Why
Justin Jackson or Singletary?
Ew. See, I think if Austin Eckler went down, like I think it would just be a 3-man committee.
And it probably would. Excuse me. I think Justin Jackson has standalone value with Austin Eckler. I guess that's my thing. Is there's an extra 130 carries and some targets to go around in that offense, and we're not grabbing any of these guys.
Do you think it is going to be him though? Because like I don't know, Joshua Kelly has been getting a little bit of buzz through all this.
I've seen enough of Joshua Kelly.
Well, we can say that all we want, but it's really just like what the coaching staff is going to do.
Overcome. Let us know who you would be dropping to go get Justin Jackson. That's probably where we should have. That's probably where we should have left off with that. But let us know who you would be dropping to go get Justin Jackson. Zach has a question here. A bunch of your guys, Kev, best bench stash: Mooney, Russell Gage, Edwards, or Nico Collins.
Just start on Mooney. Especially once Fields. I still think Fields is the starting quarterback of this team. He could be the starting quarterback of this team week 2. Like if this goes real sideways for Andy Dalton and they just get destroyed in this game, like I think you can see because I don't know how if they get boat race, the calls for Justin Fields in week 2 is going to be insane. So, but it's definitely Mooney, and then I think after that it's probably Bryan Edwards, just because I think that if all we're hearing, is true, and that everything that he's done because he didn't really play in the preseason. It's all been training camp hype. But if he can kind of be that guy, then I think Bryan Edwards with that upside is definitely real.
Robbie, who do you like here?
Yeah. Mooney sets himself apart here. I think Bryan Edwards has the ability to be that wide receiver 1 in Las Vegas. So he'd probably be number 2, and then Gage right behind him.
Thoughts on Pitts and Mixon this year in PPR leagues? All the way up. Love them both. Swift for A-Rob. Yes.
Ooh, I don't know. I didn't know. Like, there's not enough. Like,
yeah, I need more.
Yeah, there's not any more context behind that because Swift has top 10 upside this year, and so at running back, I don't know. Like, I would just need to know the rest of the team.
Swift or Henderson in a non-PPR?
Still Swift.
Mm-hmm.
I want Henderson there.
And fantasy champs, the PPR hater. Okay, see, I read we read these comments, fantasy champs. Okay, and I know your disdain for PPR.
Not the bench drop that we were waiting for from Overcome, but a trade question. Elliott and Gibson, a good trade for Chubb, Hunt, and Michael Thomas.
That is not even just a no. That is a absolutely hell no.
Yeah. I don't know like that either. I think we all had Elliott and Gibson ahead of Chubb, or at least Gibson and Chubb close. Other than you, Kev. But Elliott ahead of him for sure. Gibson right there outside of you, Kev. Then Michael Thomas, that's a guy you're going to be waiting on until week 6, week 7. And then Chubb and Hunt, like the only way that you're going to start Hunt over Chubb is if Chubb is hurt. So keep hopefully you did not do that. And hopefully if you got the Elliott and Gibson side, good for you. If you were giving that up, do not do that. Zach here with another question. $100 buy-in, 12-man PPR 9th pick. Dak, Zeke, Gibson, A-Rob, Terry, Hawk, Deontay. Cash.
Yes.
Really like that.
Yes.
Richenna coming in with the hate. Did I miss the memo on Swift? He was awful last year. I don't see Goff saving the Lions.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit different of a team from last year, and we did see him in PPR settings have some good weeks towards the end of the season. It's him and Hawkinson there. Those are really the only pass catchers that are going to get work, and this team is going to be behind a lot. So Goff may not save the Lions like Bortles did not save the Jaguars, but he can absolutely be fantasy relevant, or at least make Swift fantasy relevant.
Yeah, I don't know what we're saying. Swift was awful. Swift was definitely not awful last year. Swift was excellent, especially in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest appeal with Swift too is just that the pass catching upside, right? I think at least for now. I think if he was at a much better offense, because I still get this vibe from people that people started to talk about Swift like he is he's ever going to be as a pass catcher, right? He's a satellite back, which is just so far. He could certainly be he certainly has the size and the requisite to be a true 3-down workhorse back. And so he's not some little satellite back. And I keep getting the vibe people talk about it, but he still has 100 target upside. And so that's the main appeal with him because this offense is going to be so bad.
Yeah, Goff is definitely not saving the Lions, but the pass catching upside is what you want out of Swift, and he can absolutely do that. 10-team league from Abraham, Brady, CMC, Gaskin, D-Hop, Ridley, Andrews, Sanders, bench, Tannehill, Gus Edwards, Sermon, OBJ, Juju. Drop one of those quarterbacks. Trade one of them, drop one of them. And a 10-team. So kind of went the anchor.
Yep. I think it's a good squad. I like his bench options. I think a lot of those guys have home run upside to them, all kind of 3 or 4 of those options. So, I like that team.
Kev, should I try and trade Swift and DJ Moore for A-Rob and Carson?
No,
kind of a wash.
Yeah, I would not.
Or DJ Moore, Henderson, and Juju for A-Rob and Carson.
That, yes. Absolutely.
Yes. Second one, Cole. Here we go. Beyonce or Rihanna?
Queen Bee, fantastic in concert. Worked a concert at Minnesota for her. Queen Bee for sure. Not close. 100.
No cap.
There it is. Gosh, so hip.
It's definitely Rihanna.
How did we know?
Man, this is tough. I don't feel as strong as either of you. Man, Raylan, I'm going to have to think of this one. If you're forcing me to choose right now, it's Beyonce, but I don't feel strong. I appreciate that question. Thank you.
Stop. Only one of them's a queen. She has the nickname Kev. Come on.
Well, it's because it goes with B. It's not because she's actually a queen. Because it goes with B. Anyway, Let's try and fire through the rest of
See
these
what
here.
you did, Robbie. You made this guy drop Brian Edwards for Justin Jackson. Oh.
Now
No.
drop Justin Jackson and pick Brian Edwards back up. Here it is. DJ for Jackson.
See, you sold him a bill of goods.
I'm definitely okay with both of those. Your running back is always going to have a better shot. He's only one guy away from having relevance. I get Brian Edwards can have relevance, so that one's pretty close. I don't know if I would have quite done that yet.
I want to see. Like, it's going to be fantastic if Brian Edwards explodes this year.
Yeah.
We can go back and talk about this, whatever. You're like, oh, you were okay with dropping Brian Edwards.
That one you probably wait it out, see what happens. With Eckler here first.
Yeah,
it's getting your time.
Overcome said that too, to see how DJ is going to be used as well. Yeah, I don't think it's a move you have to make right now because it could easily be one of those other guys as well, to be quite honest. And I love Justin Jackson. One of my worst calls live on air. You can go back and check the tape. It's like Kev 2 years ago, I think, Kev. I said I wanted Justin Jackson over Austin Eckler. Said I wasn't going to be close. That was
nice.
I will own up to that one. Sanders or Mostert PPR?
It's Sanders.
Yeah.
I think he's.
You said yourself you can see Michael Carter taking over. He's not a long-term play. If he happens to be over Tevin Coleman early.
Well, by long term, we're just talking about this year, I would assume, right? I don't think we're talking about like future years.
No, yeah.
Just have on the bench.
Yeah,
he's
going to be
a
churn and burn guy at best for me.
Well, I mean, sure, if he doesn't hit, I mean, that's what all these guys are. But I mean, I'm just saying. But I guess I do think that he has that sort of upside, or else I wouldn't tell anybody to even pick him up.
Thoughts on this 12-teamer? Dak, Aaron Jones, Carson, McLaurin, Ayuk, Kelsey, Boyd, Harris, AB, Connor, Marquez, Mooney, Ebron, Fitz. Drop Ebron, drop Fitz.
the rest of it's great. Love the rest of this team. Yeah, absolutely. I was gonna give a full. You killed it, but then I saw the last two, and I was like, it's more of a.
Yeah.
It's a great team. Great team. Just drop Ebron and Fitz.
Real quick, Kev, for some of the newer listeners, why aren't you taking a backup tight end? Why aren't you taking a backup quarterback? Just hit him with it real quick.
What is it in a single quarterback league, or you can only start one of them? I'm a little bit more okay with it at tight end, just because of because in some leagues you can start two tight ends in the flex and stuff like that, but I don't think I'd ever want to. But if you are like, and I think there's a caveat too with quarterbacks we talked about. If you were able to draft Justin Fields, you're able to draft like Trey Lance, and you're drafting them with the thought process with later in the year they're going to be the starting quarterback, I'm okay with holding them because I mean Justin Fields and Trey Lance both have like legitimate top 12 upside in them once they take over because of the running floor. But for the more often than not, there's just no real positive to ever drafting a second quarterback, especially because, like, for example, you took Dak, right? You probably took Dak with a top 5 pick, 5 or 6, right? And so at that point, you spend all that capital on. There's no real guy. Like, there's never a chance that you're ever going to start Fitz over Dak. Like outside of the bye week that's going to happen, on that one chance I don't even know when the Cowboys bye week is, but if it's 7, 8, 9, 10 weeks, I don't know. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but I mean, there's so many different things that can change there in that situation. So I would much rather have with limited bench spots. I want that upside. I'm looking for players that I'm going to be able to maybe utilize later. Versus I'm never really going to care about Fitz. If something happens to Dak again, I'm going to be streaming. Fitz isn't a long-term answer. Neither is Ebron. And so I'm always looking for those lottery tickets on my bench. I don't really care about anything else.
Yeah,
Andy has Kelsey.
Right.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that would be the reason there. Yeah.
Zach, appreciate the kind words. Brian, also for you subbing as well. So we'll be going live every Wednesday night, 10 o'clock. If you're into DFS, they'll be live again tomorrow going DFS. if you do any gambling or bets, we'll be live on Saturday night. I do a show with Tom Corson. We go through some player prop bets. And then Sunday mornings, we do a pre-game, pre-lock show as well, which starts at 11 a.m. Eastern. So if you're just looking for start-sit questions, that'll be Sunday morning and Wednesday night. And then depending on what else you're into, we got something for you if you're into. Look at this. Let me just drop this down right here. There is the content schedule. So we got Devy stuff, we got streamers, we got Dynasty rankings obviously coming out. Tonight is the start sit show, obviously. Like I said, DFS tomorrow. DFS videos just dropping solo on Friday as well. Saturday live, Sunday morning live, and then Sunday evening during halftime of the Sunday night game, looking at the first look at waivers. So there you got it. I'd pop a cap in Sancho, and I'd smack her down. Who would you rather own, Tevin Coleman or Jacoby Myers?
Jacoby Myers, and it's not even close.
Yes. You're damn right, Ashton, because we are here for all of you. We're going to try and rip through these last ones here and finish up at 12:30. Godwin. Start him tomorrow. Need help with my starting wide receivers. Deontay Cooks, Pittman at flex, Gage AB, Rondell Moore on the bench.
I would probably consider swapping out Antonio Brown for Brandon Cooks. That'd be about it.
That's what I'm doing as well.
Yep.
Yes, you should. So this is Joe's the one who dropped Bryan Edwards, has Metcalf, Jefferson, Chark, Waddle.
I think it's fine. Yeah.
Did we already answer this? I thought we all agreed it was Swift.
I said Henderson.
Oh, okay.
In a non-PPR?
Yeah.
Jose, let us know your other options there, but I think you could, depending on who your other options are. Keep Coleman or Michael Carter to start the year. If you need someone to start week one out of these two, I would start Coleman if you're just going to hold somebody long term, I would go Michael Carter there. So this is obviously not in response to the trade earlier, but need help at tight end, OJ Howard and Ebron. Who's a sleeper I can get and drop one of these guys?
Are we just talking about overall? Are we talking about? Because like I said, I think if we're just talking about, just any position, it doesn't really matter. I think, like in the kind we've talked about, Ty Johnson, I think also Tony Jones, I definitely think now with Latavius Murray being cut, Terrace Marshall is still, widely available that when he shouldn't be.
Bryan Edwards. Rondell Moore.
Yeah.
What about if it was a tight end?
Yeah, he probably needs to upgrade a little bit at tight end. Austin Hooper is probably a name for week one. You can take a shot on Blake Jarwin. Those are two names. Colcomet.
Not for week one, but I'm gonna wait on that. Troutman. Gonna wait on that. Juwan Johnson, Pat Freiermuth. If you want to get there's no I would rather have Freiermuth over Ebron if you want to swap out Steelers tight ends. But for this week, I like Jarwin and I like Austin Hooper if you're looking for somebody for this week. Cooks. Well, this is a trade. Brandon Cooks. If it is a start set, Brandon Cooks.
Yes.
Gaskin or Jacobs is RB2?
It's Gaskins.
Jacobs for me.
Gaskin. AB or Chenault on the bench for the season?
I would have Chenault.
I'll go AB. If one of those other two wide receivers goes down, I think he has a much, much higher ceiling. I'll go AB.
Man.
He could jump into the top 15 wide receiver conversation.
My only issue with that is like you would need one of those guys to go down to do that, where I think like Chenault could carve out, like he could be in the weekly discussion as a flex option. Obviously, AB, he could as well, but I think that's thinner with AB than it is Chenault. Man, but if I'm just keeping somebody, oh my god.
I think you want that high up. I think you want that high upside on your bench. That's what we preach. You're hitting the home run. You're going for the ceiling. I think they're both really close for flex options most weeks. You're probably going to play the matchup between them, and then the home run is absolutely AB.
Yeah, but I don't think you should be. I don't think you should be using injury as a form of analysis to how you think it view him having a ceiling. Like I think like in this situation, I think for like if you're talking about like a handcuff running back or something, fine. But in this sense, I think that like for the two of them, like Chenault has that right now, like where he can be the wide receiver one, right?
Right, but the different offense, right? Wide receiver one on Jacksonville versus the wide receiver two on Tampa Bay, I think is different conversations.
Right, but he's not. He's their wide receiver 3.
Maybe. I haven't projected for more targets than Mike Evans.
Woo! You're just gonna nonchalantly drop that.
Yeah, whatever.
That's not hot at all.
I mean, I think it is. Yeah.
No, they're all three. Sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was just saying, Akash is rocking with us, and he's saying it's Chenault, not even close. And he also said, "Show this comment." So I don't think he wants this comment. Just talking about his rookie comps for Chenault and saying
we need to get Akash on here next week.
Mm-hmm.
Let's set it up. Is Lev Bell relevant? I don't think so.
No.
Absolutely not.
A-Rob or Julio?
This is Julio.
Julio for me as well.
I'm trusting A-Rob there.
Well, you're outvoted, Robbie, so it doesn't matter. Top 10 sleepers. I know we just rattled off a bunch. Edwards, Rondale Moore, Tony Jones Jr., Ty Johnson,
Terrace Marshall, Elijah Moore, if you haven't said that already.
I think James White is really interesting. He's a guy that I've really been high on, especially since Mac was the starter. I like James White.
Yeah, I like James White as well. Marvin Jones as a sleeper as well. I like him. I think he's undervalued. Allen, Baker, Kamara, Miles Sanders, Hunt, Fournette, Hopkins, AJ Brown, Chark, Waddle, Lazard, Gage, Waddle, Hoopa. Drop Baker Mayfield.
I see a trend.
Yes. I'm grabbing the low hanging fruit. I like it. Kamara, Miles, AJ.
I think you could. I mean, I guess it's. I mean, I don't know what other options are available on the way, like on that are available right now. But I mean, I don't really have any interest in Lazard either.
Me either.
So, yeah.
You can drop Baker. You can drop Lazard. In a 10 team, there should be somebody like a bunch of the guys that we just rattled off will be available for you as well. But I do like the Kamara, D-Hop, AJ Brown, Josh Allen pairing as well.
Yep.
We got Akash and we got Ak Cash.
I know when I first saw it, I was like, wait, what? I was like, oh, okay.
Appreciate you coming through with that super chat. You guys honestly just been crushing all night. We really, really do appreciate it. Acquired via trade Kelsey, A-Rob, Chenault, San Fran for Jonathan Taylor, Callaway, Beasley, and Carolina. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yep. Look at these look at all these comments too. Yeah. AK Cash at Cash. Crush it. Basically just traded away Jonathan Taylor. You got Kelsey, who's going ahead of him in drafts. A-Rob. Like I think you could potentially take like Kelsey out of that and still feel like okay about the trade. And you throw Kelsey in there. And that's
The only other thing I would say though is who else does he have at running back? I mean, he definitely won the trade, but I'm like, what do you have left at running back now?
Yep.
You just traded Taylor because all you got back for a bunch of wide. I mean, you got pass catchers, and I mean, I don't really care about the defenses. And so you definitely upgraded over obviously Callaway and Beasley, but with A-Rob and Chenault, obviously. But I would just be curious who the other running backs he has are. Like how thin are you now at running back?
Yeah. So I just want to get to Jose's real quick. I'll let you guys look at that as I scroll up to see. Okay. Would you sit Montgomery versus the Rams?
Do we know how many?
Starting Aaron Jones and Zeke, right? So put Zeke in that RB2 spot.
Oh, there. I was like, where's Zeke? Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Moore, Ridley, Andrews. Then on the bench, Hunt, Ayuk. So would we start any of these guys on the bench over Montgomery? Hunt, Ayuk, AB, Marvin Jones.
Definitely I would Ayuk.
I don't think I would. No.
And I think you could make a case for Hunt, but I would still stick with Montgomery on that.
I would start Ayuk over Montgomery this week, and also you can drop one of those defenses as well, Jose. Jones or Marquis Brown?
Marquis Brown.
Marvin Jones.
Wasn't that the first question? Wasn't the first question we answered? Was it?
It was Ruggs, and Marquis.
Oh, Ruggs
Brown.
and Marquis Brown.
Yes.
Okay.
Give me Hollywood. Harry, either join the Discord just so we can help you out a little bit more. Join the Discord. We've had a bunch of people join tonight, and drop a screenshot of your available options. Kind of hard just like throw out blank. Like there might be somebody who's obvious or we're skipping over, or leave a comment on one of our other videos and give us some other options of who would be there, and we can help you out a lot easier there. Need help on which wide receiver to choose this weekend? Need two, probably one at flex. Judy, Woods, Anderson, Chenault, Boyd.
Woods locked in. Judy's locked in for me. And then
Boyd for me.
They were all going to be different.
Yep. I thought that might happen.
Because I'm going to go Chenault. And I know you're probably going to go Anderson, right?
I am.
All right, let's rock, paper, scissors it. Whoever gets it.
And going back to Harry real quick, you guys did put out a waiver show. So I think they definitely check out the waiver show. True. That can help you kind of parse through some of the guys that should be on your waivers.
That feels so long ago.
So long ago.
Tanny, Stafford, Eckler, Monty, Davis, Rojo, A-Rob, Deontay, Devonta, AB, Kelsey, Aguilar, Tyson.
I think that you could release Nelson Aguilar if you wanted, depending on who's available. I don't think there's any need for that, but I think solid team. I mean, Rojo, but I mean, really good team. Excellent job. I don't think you need two quarterbacks though. So,
I was going to let someone else.
Yeah. Especially when you're probably taking these guys really close, right? Like
Close,
Tannehill and
yeah.
Stafford are right next to each other. You probably took them in back-to-back rounds or maybe a couple rounds apart. Just take one, and for the bye week or for some tougher matchups, whatever, you can make a stream. But you're going to roll with one of them. You're going back to the tough decisions. Like I feel like you'll make the wrong decision more often than not. Just have one of those guys.
I think what ends up happening, I think people like, especially when you have quarterbacks like that or anybody, like I think people feel the need like there's not going to be quarterbacks out there, and so like they're like, I have to have this second quarterback, I have to have one, and I think it's just like a visceral reaction, and you just don't, because you're probably never going to start that guy, and whatever guy you probably do have, like for the most part, is probably not going to make up for the guy you lost anyway, and you can just stream that position, and let's say it doesn't even happen, and or if it does happen, but let's say it happens in week 15. Right, so you just wasted that. You burnt that entire roster spot the entire year over the what happens, and then who knows, that week 15 matchup might be terrible for the quarterback that you saved, that you sat here and you rostered all year. There's just no upside to it.
Another 10-man team to look at here for Alexis: Brady, Carson Davis, Devontae Adams, Terry McLaurin, Travis Kelce, Chase Claypool, Tucker, and the Rams D.
Like it. I mean, we passed on running back early, which is good, and then we got Devontae, Terry McLaurin, and Kelce. Excellent job.
Yep.
Ayuk or Davis full PPR?
Mike Davis.
Yep.
Rank these for this season: Gronk, Cook, Everett, Kmet, Ferkser, Troutman.
Ooh.
Put him in a hat and pull one out.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
You're gonna stream. Pick the one for week one.
I think Gronk is okay, but like I think he's gonna be something that's gonna be limited. I don't think they're gonna be using him as much. You just don't need it, right? And so like, if I had to like gun to my head, I have to rank them. I'm probably gonna go Gronk first, but then I'll probably go Everett, Kmet, Troutman, Ferkser, and then Cook. Somewhere right around there.
Man, you could jumble this in a lot of ways.
Yeah. I don't. There's no way that stands out to me that's like clear cut. This is the dude.
Just saying a lot because this would have been Troutman a while ago for Kev.
Well, I mean, listen. This is the thing, and this is a thing I always say, and the thing I'll continue to say is you have to be fluid. I know we bust balls about takes and stuff like that, but you have to be fluid in your whatever analysis you're doing. If people that you follow or listen to podcasts or do all that stuff, right? Like, and they're just stuck in take lock and they'll never let it go. Like stop listening to those people, because we all get stuff wrong. We all, you have analysis in the moment, but you should always be fluid and be able to vitalize, or what word am I looking for? Reimagine. You should just never get stuck in take lock.
Imagine Dragons, and then the rest of your life will be fine.
Yeah,
Murdoch, I would say that I would like to start Hooper week one over that. Like if you're looking at someone to stream for this week, Hooper would be my preferred stream over this group for week one, and then come back next week whenever you need your next tight end streamer. Appreciate all the love coming in here. Any thoughts on Rojo? Robbie, I know you're the Rojo stan. Kevin and I, we think it's just going to be a hot hand approach. I'm not sure that Rojo will be the guy the entire year.
Yeah, might not be the guy the entire year. I think he is probably going to get a majority of the work on the ground. Obviously, with Gio in there, not as great through the air. So he has some weeks like this where they're playing the Dallas defense. I think you're going to want to start him. Other weeks where it looks like it might be a little bit more of a shootout, to play a little bit more Gio. I do think you'll want to sit him.
This one is Brady for me.
Sames.
Oh yeah, yep.
And I'll say this on the thing about, because I think that's what most people say is I hear that all the time, is that I picked him up to trade him. More often than not, you're never going to be able to trade him, because this quarterback value in single quarterback leagues is so low. You're never going to be able to trade him for what you think you're going to be able to trade him for. Because most people are like, I'll just go to the waivers and go pick up Jameis Winston who's sitting out there, or Carson Wentz, or whatever.
Chart Gauge Waddle full PPR.
This is Gage. Oh man, this is close. Actually,
This is Gage.
I'm gonna go Chark.
I'll go Waddle.
I just don't know how with Miami, how the targets are going to shake out week 1. That's my only Gage. We know it's Ridley, it's Pitts, and that's really it. And going up against a weak secondary as well outside of Slay, so that's why I like Gage there.
Yeah, for me, it's just the talent with those guys. So you can make the matchup argument or the talent argument.
Kyler, Stafford, Judy, Woods, Anderson, Visca, Boyd, Zeke, Gibson, Kelsey, Thomas. Drop Stafford. Drop Logan Thomas.
I do think this is another good example, though, too, of with this. I guess at least for next year would be so. Think of what you sacrificed in those rounds to be able to have 2 quarterbacks, 2 tight ends, right? You drafted Kelsey with your first pick, right? You're probably your first or second. If something happens to him, you're fucked anyway, okay? Because all right. And so drafting Logan Thomas isn't really going to significantly help you, okay? And so I would always look at it too as like who you are giving up, right? Because you probably drafted Logan Thomas in the 7th, 8th, maybe 9th round, right? And Stafford probably in the 8 to 10 range. And the players that you passed on, I think there is greater than what you have, and those guys just sitting on your bench all year. Because there's never a scenario outside of the bye week that you're going to start Logan Thomas over Travis Kelce.
Yeah, and then especially Kev, if Kelsey goes down, you're in a 10-man league. Your tight ends available are all going to be the same, right? The tight ends 8 to 18 are all going to be right there. So you can actually pick up a tight end if Kelsey were to go down, and you're still going to have the same tight end as probably 3 or 4 or 5 of the other guys and gals in that league. So never gonna play Logan.
So this is from that trade earlier. Still has Cook and Barkley at running back. So this is the one that traded JT.
Yep.
Good for you.
Yep.
Ack cash. This is Jalen Hurts.
Yep.
Anthony wants to know if this is a league winner in a 10-man full PPR. Dak, Hunt, Robinson, Devontae, CD, Kelsey, Gaskin, Broncos D, and Q.
I think it could be, but you're going to need help at running back. So make sure – I don't know what your bench looks like, but you be aggressive on adding running back because you need help at running back desperately.
Could be, though. He has the talent to make the trade. Absolutely can be.
Yeah. But are you like robbing Peter to pay Paul? Right, I guess to do that. This isn't a situation where I think you have Gaskin there as well, so I think you're fine there. I just think I would just be aggressively attacking running back on my bench.
All right, last one. Let's finish up on this. Tongue out. Charles wants to know half PPR 12 team: Ryan Tannehill, Derrick Henry, Monty, Hopkins, CD, Jonnu, Ayuk, Juju, and Jamal Williams.
I think you're heavily invested into the Titans offense, which could be a problem. I still like Tannehill. I think this team is fine. I think this team's solid.
Man, if that's Javonte Williams, I like that a hell of a lot better than Jamal Williams. I tell you what, that would definitely help a little bit. So
Javonte didn't even cross my mind for some reason. Good call.
I assume that was Javonte.
I hope so.
I 100% said Jamal. Yeah, solid team. I would wait for the Derrick Henry smash week and then trade him away and try and shore up the maybe drop down at running back slightly and then pick up another receiver. Maybe go for some tight end. Maybe go off Henry and go for a Pitts. Maybe do something with a Miles Sanders and a Pitts, Miles Sanders and a Mark Andrews or something like that. But yeah, looks good, Charles, and it was good to be back with all you. I definitely missed this, the marathons and just the absolute questions coming in nonstop. Really appreciate all you guys. Join the Discord if you don't want another app. That's fine. We'll still answer your questions here on the YouTube. Yes, Alejandro. Listen, buddy.
All right. Hey, somebody brought
listen.
it up. You want to get into it? You want to get it? No. Go watch the video. There's a Derrick Henry video. You'll get everything you need to know.
Yes. So, but anyway, appreciate all of you guys. Last one. Appreciate all the kind words too. You guys were awesome tonight. Lamar, Aaron Jones, Kamara, Debo, A-Rob, Thielen, Kittle. We don't care about the last ones.
Yeah, that's
Aaron
good.
Jones and Kamara.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah,
and I hope maybe next year Aaron Jones won't be so undervalued every year.
Every year.
This is Gaskin. Anthony. Yes, we appreciate all you. Really appreciate all the super chats that came through. Please hit that subscribe and that like button if you have yet to do so. Discord completely free. Jump in there. We're answering questions all the time. We have community members answering questions and helping us out as well. So that's been a lot of fun to see that really start to take off the past couple of days. DFS stream tomorrow, props on Saturday, and then you can swing back on Sunday morning for the Before Lock show. We'll be going live at 11 a.m. Eastern. So with that out of the way, Kev, Robbie, it's great to see your faces. Week 1, Wednesday stream in the books. Let's go.